All right, everybody, welcome back to the Midnite Snak podcast, where we have the goods to keep you up at night. With me today, as always, is Austin. Say hello.
Hi.
Hi.
I want to be your father and impregnate you.
That's some Alabama level shit.
My last name.
I want to be your father, and I want to impregnate you.
Last name.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Yeah. The capital of Alabama. Mm-hmm. And then Justin's behind the camera, and then, as always, my name's Brandon. That was Justin.
We are too poor to get him a mic right now, so.
Well, he has a mic, but he decided to get a cheap-ass USB mic instead of an aux cord, so it didn't plug into our fucking setup. All right.
Disappoint me.
Just like Karens, which happens to be our topic, or at least the beginning of our show, talking about Karens, considering that 2 days ago? It was Wednesday night. So, yeah, about 2 days ago, we went fishing. We started at, 9.
Yeah, somewhere around there.
Went down to a lake we don't normally fish at, so that was probably the first mistake. And then we went to the public boat launch there. It was after dark already. And then we were, fishing for, an hour.
Yeah.
And then this fucking Subaru Forester pulls up right next to us. And I was like, here we go. This is going to be fun. So my wife and you cowered in the car, and then I got out.
Hey, don't call me a coward because, for one, I will speak on the behalf of probably me and Ashley, but mainly me.
You didn't get out, though.
I would have killed her.
Okay, fine. I just humiliated her in a way. So immediately I get out of the car, and the first thing, she's just livid, going to town like, you guys should know that you're not supposed to fish here. Read this sign. Just off the top, just immediately Karen.
Oh, man.
And I wait for that perfect moment.
And he wasn't talking back, by the way.
I wasn't talking at all, just silent. I was just listening. And it gets to a point where she says, you know, I could lock you in here too, and then who are you going to call? 1, 2, Ghostbusters. And I just told it to her, not like a ghost, but just immediate Ghostbuster. I looked her dead in the eyes, and oh my God, I feel like it knocked her off her feet, because she was like, no, the sheriff. It's like, yeah, good comeback, Karen. Like, come on. What is he going to do? He's going to arrest you for locking up a public fucking boat launch, yeah.
I mean,
it's called
also,
boat dock.
the gate that was in there, right? There was this
probably 100-pound boulder, easy.
Over 100.
Yeah.
Easy.
And the gate
was behind it.
So you would have had to move the rock first to actually close the gate, to lock the gate. We should have just let her try. That would have been so funny. I don't think she actually would. She would have just called the cops, because I don't think she would have tried anything.
I would honestly rather have dealt with the cops, to be honest.
Because I think they would have come out and been like, okay, this isn't worth our time, guys. Just make sure not to come back here after dark, that kind of thing. I don't think they would have been like, all right, put him in cuffs. It's like, no, we're fishing. We're not doing illicit activities in the Kia Soul we were driving. I mean, unless you want to call it that, but the cops wouldn't have seen, so it doesn't count.
I would have rather have
an audience. Yeah.
Right now? Here we go.
Oh. I like how you're looking me dead in the eyes as if you're ready.
I am ready.
You're not.
7.
No. Mm-hmm. So anyway, at the end of that whole fiasco, we eventually just go back to the normal lake we fish at.
Yeah.
And no one there cares.
Nope.
I swear. It's like we always try something new, and there's always a Karen there to, you know what? This is a lesson. To anyone out there, if you deal with a Karen, if they don't give you any ounce of respect, don't give them back. Don't give them respect back. If they immediately start yelling at you, belittling you, don't get on their level, but just look them dead in the eyes and find your moment to make sure that you do not respect them in some way. Stand up tall, chest out, be confident, and just don't allow it to happen, because the more we have people do what Austin's doing right now, the less Karens there will be, because they won't feel like they have enough authority that their husband doesn't have, because they run the relationship.
I'm pretty sure just pulling out a 9mm would solve that.
Yeah, but then the cops actually get involved, you know? You gotta... I don't think that would work.
I don't know, man.
I think
Prison
she would
sounds
think,
like a
oh,
really
it's just
nice
a crazy
place.
incident. I'm not going to try it with them anyway, but I'll keep doing it if they're younger than me. That's
Free
the other thing.
living, free food. I mean, you got to be careful, taking a shower, but
It's more than just a
you
shower.
just really got to like work out your butt muscles.
So you're basically a prostitute. I mean, you get money, you get food, you get a house, you get a lot of money for doing it, but you got to take it
a
up
free
the ass.
workout, like
True.
a free gym,
Yeah, and you get to feel good.
like you
Maybe a
have-
free shower afterward too. That or go back on the street and don't shower in between. I don't know. Plus, your crotch will never not be cold, or will never be cold again. All you need is that good old gonorrhea, baby, and it'll be burning for the rest of your life.
I mean, it's one way to look at it.
Yeah, there's always benefits.
There is,
Yeah,
yeah.
just become a prostitute. Take that advice.
Mm-hmm.
Stand up to Karens, but be a prostitute. Wait, that would actually work, wouldn't it? Hi, baby. You want to come over here and whisper it into my ear? Oh, yeah, I like a commanding woman. Oh, yeah.
Like you talk like that.
I feel like
Gets me all
that would
riled up.
actually work.
Start stripping.
Yeah.
Honestly,
Well,
just
and then
how-
that's another problem.
Yeah,
At least when you're
true.
fighting a guy, you strip down. It's like, I
You
don't
gotta
really.
have like those rip-off pants and just
Yeah,
ready
exactly.
at any
And
given
then
moment.
just have your friend ready with the boombox.
We were waiting for you.
Boom, boom. That song. Just make it into a strip club. You have a Karen
That'd be
moment to
so
bring up
funny.
that you remember?
I mean,
Because I have one, so if you don't have it with you, I can say mine and tell you.
a Karen moment. I've been around Karens, but never like necessarily directed towards me.
The one I remember the most, and Justin brought this up earlier, is right before the wedding, the
Yeah.
day before the wedding,
Yeah.
on a mountain, outside, in broad daylight, this bitch in a bandana over her fucking mouth decided to go, while we were walking past her, and she was just past the last person, which happened to be me, masks, because we weren't wearing any, because it was on a mountain outside during the
on a hike.
fucking day, but she waited until after she had passed the last person, and I was just like, really? I didn't give her I didn't give her that much shit, but it was like, come on.
Yeah.
Come on, at least say it to my face. Say it to my face. And don't wear a bandana. I would have at least had some kind of sympathy if you were wearing the right mask, but a bandana over your face isn't going to stop shit.
I'm trying to think of Karens, like just
Yeah.
a Karen moment.
It's
There's a lot.
You have a lot more in customer service, I'll tell you that. Working,
I've seen
working
a
Domino's,
lot.
oh my god. Yeah.
I've seen a lot happen, like when I go to like McDonald's or something like
Yeah.
that. You'll see many, and it's just like,
Come
Yo,
on. It's a
chill.
McDonald's.
yeah, like
They're
literally.
17. It's like, if you put your expectations so high into someone who has a job like that, then you're kind of failing yourself. So, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that. And you know what? Also be the bigger person. If you see someone doing that to someone in customer service and they obviously look like they're really nervous and they're not having a good day, don't stand up for them.
But
Stand up for them. Just
Yeah.
say, hey, that's not okay. It's like, just stand up for them. At least in some way, so that, if that's their first job and that's their first time with an employee, oh my God. Oh,
I did have a Karen during DoorDash one time.
oh my God. Well, and you had a Karen whenever you, not that long ago when you're on a job, the one that was like really enforcing you guys to wear a mask the whole time.
God.
Yeah.
I'm under the sink.
All shapes and
hooking
sizes,
up.
baby.
Dude. This woman.
Typically the same fucking haircut, though. I don't know what it is with the
No,
haircut.
it was.
It's like a red flag, Oh, it's like that dinosaur, that had like the fucking flare out to like warn predators that I'm dangerous kind of thing. I think that's the Karen haircut.
Kind of.
Yeah.
They have like the comb over, but then like the hair sticking
Yeah,
out the back.
yeah.
That's like a
Like,
peacock.
I put a whole bunch of fucking hairspray in my hair, so it's got all the volume, but it looks so gross, and it's
Yeah.
like it looks like you're wearing a stupid wig that you bought at like a Walmart or something.
No, but she was a really nice lady, but mask Nazi.
Oh my God.
I will say this.
I
Like-
feel like some people though, it's just they don't know any different.
Well, also when we were leaving too, like oh my god, like we had a mask on and we were outside and we were plenty away from her, but her kid was leaving and she didn't have a mask on, and she was going to the car for, I think, like her grandma or something was picking her up, and she was like, "Put your mask on. Make sure you wear your mask." All this, and she was like, "Make sure grandma's wearing her mask too in the car." And then it was funny because me and my buddy were just like, like, oh my god. And the child just kind of like kept walking. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's like, yo, like,
I feel like it's that semblance of authority that people really enjoy. And because it's socially acceptable to do it, they do it. But if it wasn't, they wouldn't. It's like online, you know, how people will bully someone else, but they would never say that to their face. It's the same thing with the mask because, you know, oh, well, I have 100 people to back me up if, God forbid, something happens. Mm-hmm. It's like, ugh. It's, I guess it's strength with the facade of weakness, really. It's like you're not actually strong. It's kind of more like cowardice.
But Karen, man. Well, let's see. I'll get on back to the topic of
also. Not to demean anyone with the name Karen, I'm so sorry if your name is Karen and you don't act that way. If you act that way, then you live up to the name. Fuck you. But if you're just a normal everyday person, I'm sorry. That's my generation's fault.
I mean, almost every Karen I've ever met lives up to the name. I'm not joking you on that. Almost every Karen I've ever met.
I had a Karen the other day that was fine. She was nice. She was like a sweetheart mom kind of thing.
Must have been on her meds.
Yeah, that's probably true. Hey,
like,
I know my phone was at 100% before we started filming, but could you? Yeah. The cord for my phone is actually in the bedroom. It's so after the dresser, it's on the right side, kind of by the garbage can in that outlet. It should be the white block with the cable coming out of it.
Cute ass.
Wait.
I like it when you walk away from me.
Oh, I thought maybe they could actually see him.
No.
That'd be funny. Sorry not to.
He's got some cakes.
I mean, yeah, I'm just like, everyone in my family's got cake.
It's beautiful.
It's just our genetics. Mm. It could also be that.
I'm just kidding.
Most of us in my family are overweight. Kidding. I'm technically overweight. Actually, technically, I'm obese.
I mean, when I was weightlifting, like 200 pounds.
Yeah.
Like.
But
I was
if I'm over 225, I'm obese. Yeah.
And it's like,
okay. But mine's not due to activity. I'm just kind of big. So.
Like I weigh like $150 now, finally.
I don't even know how much I weigh. I think it's around 230, but I'm technically like right on the cusp of obese. So it's like, okay, fine, I'll lose a few pounds.
It's all muscle.
No, it's not. I wish it was,
but
it
water weight.
It is not. Like I can tell off the camera that I definitely have some flab, you know.
Warmth.
That's true.
That's why.
At least I'm not a weakling like you.
I have 2 metal plates in my body, bro.
That doesn't mean anything different.
It means so much when you're in cold.
What do you mean? That doesn't make any sense.
The cold will get to you.
Yeah, but if you have insulation, it doesn't fucking matter.
Okay.
Okay, your bones are the same way.
If I had fat.
Yeah, but your bones would be the same way.
Yeah, but it aches in those areas a lot more when it's cold, and then also.
Okay, that makes sense, but as far as temperature,
gets a lot. Because like right here will be numb. Like it's already numb, but like in the parts where it's not numb, like it'll be so cold, like I can feel it in the metal almost. Like the cold.
You can feel it in the metal?
Yeah. That's why I got long hair, man. Gotta do the hang.
That's what it.
Yeah. Head banging.
Banging, head, sucking head. Oh, shit. I can't get myself out of this one.
What does that mean?
Diet cock. I mean diet cock. I mean cock. I mean diet cock.
They're coming.
Oh my god, that was hilarious. It was like
I'm coming.
So how the meme worked out is the person who was being filmed was like on one of those like grocery store stand things, and there was like a keyboard there. So he's just acting as if he was playing Call of Duty. All right, I'm coming. He's coming. We're coming. We finished. we're finished, and it's just so funny. I wish when we were playing Call of Duty, if I heard that, I would just immediately bomb. Like I wouldn't be very good anymore because I'd just be dying laughing. I wouldn't be able to concentrate, and I wouldn't be mad either. I'd be being killed left and right, and just immediately. Oh, that'd be so funny. Oh,
Good morning, girlfriend Beggins
oh,
from the chat.
yeah, from the East Coast. Oh,
East
oh, lucky you!
Coast.
Got to wake up at 5 a.m. Yeah, that's fun. That's when I'm gonna fall asleep.
I'll probably be up until like 8, 9. Most
Nice.
likely. But I do have to help my mother today.
Oh darn!
Such a burden. Ah,
I
just
swear, if my sister wakes me up tomorrow morning at like 10 and asks me if I can move something, I'm gonna throw a fucking fit. Because if I don't fall asleep until like 5 and she wakes me up at 10 and I have to work a long shift tomorrow as well as doing the podcast, I'm gonna throw some fucking
Do it.
fit. Oh, she won't. She probably won't. She better not. Especially if she's listening. I don't think she is, but if she is, you better not. I guess we kind of got sidetracked. We were talking about Karens, and then we just kind of.
But anyways, door dashing. Karen.
Oh god.
So the Justin's DoorDash before.
I have too.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then you guys have DoorDash. You know how in some places they have the bags sealed
Yep.
and you cannot check it. You cannot open
Oh,
it.
I know where you're
cannot
going with
check it.
this. Because I was
Okay.
afraid of this whenever they do that.
Well, here's the thing. Like, it's in my job to
Not.
not touch your food.
So you'll
To
have
not
someone open it and be like, "You forgot this."
Yeah.
It's like
I can't
I
see.
didn't forget
All
shit.
I can do is make sure
that I give you the package, not that
yeah.
everything in the package actually got in there.
correct.
It's like, come on.
Now, of course, like if you were to go to like Red Robin, they have like those
Yeah.
see-through bags, and
Yeah.
you can actually open them because it's all containered. You can like look at it, and it always has like a label on it, of,
Yeah.
like what it is and whatnot.
Oh, I just hate it when they had like 40 drinks. It's like, God,
Yeah,
I don't have 40 cup holders. What? LOL, I put up
From-
with a lot from.
no, Vor-
Oh, yeah. What is that?
I don't know.
Him?
No. The Adam tier. I think it's spam again. It's VOR.red. Don't click on that. No one click on that. I'm pretty sure that's spam.
Porn.
It happened to be also.
porn.
Then click on it. Click on it now, especially if it's gay porn. Click it. I never specified lesbian or gay. So
That's true.
you take the gamble. It's 50-50. Just like how I. What? I was trying to come up with a joke. I couldn't. 50-50. How do you come up with the joke? Sexual joke with 50-50. Kind of like how I have sex with men. Is that
You could
Is
either go heads or tails.
true? Yeah. I don't know.
I don't know. That was poor.
I didn't have any coins. I couldn't flip a coin. I had no head or tails. How was I supposed to know? So my dad would just put me on this machine and he'd flip me, and I'd just keep rotating until eventually either my feet or my head was at the top, and then we'd be like, oh, well, it's heads. And then he'd start just going.
Is your dad a priest by any chance?
No.
Catholic?
Neither ordained.
Damn.
No.
Just
No.
a savage then.
I was talking about you and your dad.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
I mean, can't really do that, you know?
I mean, you can. I mean, there's
I mean-
parts of him left.
That's true, the ashes.
Yeah.
The ash.
Yeah. Like I
It's
said, use it like
probably
lube.
soft.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It worked.
Soft. And
Yeah.
Get it all damp.
Yeah.
Make that, like, spaghetti noise.
Steve would be like, I'm so disappointed.
Look at you, Dad.
Yeah, exactly. Sometimes we just go on a tangent, and I think that's going to be this entire podcast today. It's just going to be a long tangent of
Just random.
fucked up shit.
Yeah.
Because
Just like my life.
because Justin and I just got back from closing at 1:40 before we started this podcast.
You guys got here. No, you guys got here at like 1:50.
So I had nothing to plan as far as what are we going to talk about today. So it's going to be a lot of this where we'll be like, oh yeah, you remember when we did, and then it'll just be on a tangent and then eventually find a sexual joke. And then we'll have this point where we're like, and then we'll move on to the next thing. Yeah.
Awkward silence.
Which is going to be what? What's the next thing?
Next thing?
Justin, ask us a question.
We can talk about how many raccoons you could fit up an ass.
Okay. Theoretically, it's 2. 2 adult.
That's impressive.
But there's, like, if you're talking baby raccoons, it's probably more like 6.
Oh, easy.
Yeah. Well, it depends on what stage of their life. Like, if you're talking about, like, little jelly bean raccoons.
I'm talking about, like...
Oh, that reminds me. I need to show you. It's not on here. It's on my other phone. I'll show you after the podcast. But the little 4-inch fucking catfish I caught the other day was so fucking cute. It's like this long. This long. I shit you not. It was like 3 inches. Which is huge.
This is the biggest thing I've ever seen.
And one of them,
size and length.
One of them, you could tell the way it was hooked. It was like under its jaw, and the worm was right in front of its mouth, and you could tell exactly how it was trying to get to it, but it got stuck before it got there. It was so funny.
Yeah.
Oh, I dropped that little fucker so many times.
Yeah, they're
I couldn't get a good grip on them, and I was like, even if they're this tiny, I put my finger in it, it's just gonna. I don't want to deal with it.
Yeah.
But we were talking about something else before the fish. I can't remember.
Talking about my dad's ashes being lube.
Oh no, it was after that because we were talking about something. I can't remember what it was. We were talking about fish, not fish. Eventually got there because I sidetracked you.
Justin ask us something. Can you throw that out.
Do you remember what I said or what we were going to before I brought up the little catfish? I can't remember what it was.
He's not listening. You kidding?
I was looking for questions.
Oh, okay. Well, I mean, until then, I mean, what happened today? I guess, price
of shit.
Price of gas is going up.
Shit.
Yeah. Ooh. Congratulations. An hour in the making. It's a baby.
It is.
Is it a boy or a girl?
I didn't get a good look at it before
it didn't tell you?
Went down.
Not like what is it, Mr. Hanky from South Park?
I actually had twins, but the other one was premature.
Oh, okay, baby. So you had the big baby,
and
then
come to term, and it died pretty quickly. So
that's nice.
Yeah,
but yeah, no gas here. I don't know about Virginia. You can comment. Gas here is $4.20.
Wait, this is
$4.20. If you say anything other than $6.90, we're not friends.
What do you mean?
Is that women inches or man inches? Well, I mean, I guess it depends on the man or the woman you're asking, I guess. I mean, 3 inches is a lot for a guy.
Soft.
Oh.
No, actually, about 3 inches is normal for soft.
Yeah. Yeah, I'd say.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then...
anything above that, you're hung. If you're soft, and
not always, because you also have showers. Like I know of one friend that we have mutually that I'm not going to bring the name up of that would show all the time. And anyway, he was a shower. He was a shower.
Yeah, he was.
Yeah, and it didn't grow any longer than that. So I was like, I wouldn't call him hung.
No, but I'm saying like if you're soft, not erect, and it hangs more than 3 inches down, normally.
Yeah.
I mean.
Yeah. And it's got to have some girth to it, too. It can't be some pencil dick. No one likes a pencil dick. It's got to have girth.
That's true.
I think most women would probably agree. Length isn't the main thing. It's just how thick it is.
Yeah, but you don't want like...
No, you don't want too thick, but like length isn't everything.
A little nub.
Yeah.
Know, like a little door
chode?
handle.
Isn't that what it's called? A chode?
Like,
it's bigger than it is long.
No, well...
Isn't that what that means? It's got like a... If you take this length across, it's longer than the itself. Yeah, that's what had happened here too. It was like, what was it last week? It was like 380 something, and now it's like 420. Just immediately jumped up. All because goddamn Russians want to take some territory, I swear. They didn't think about us.
No.
How dare they?
Fucking selfish.
I know. Fucking Soviets.
Bastards.
Yeah.
God damn
It's
it.
pretty much just Putin.
Yeah, that's true. I should say it's probably not
Does
even
care.
most of the Russian people. It's
Yeah.
just Putin. Or the government, I should say.
Yeah.
Ugh. And what do you want in Ukraine anyway? That's the other thing I don't understand. I mean, some people say, well, they're rich in resources, but it's like, so is Russia at this point. Why the fuck do
Yeah.
they care so much about Ukraine?
I feel like they just really wanted war.
I feel like they're bored and they just want to go back to their ex, you know? Because Ukraine used to be in the Soviet Union, so I think they just want to go back to their ex.
Also, that was a TikTok I watched.
Wait, what? Also, is man inches or correct measurement according to some? I think I'm having a stroke.
I'm dyslexic, so I'm no help in this.
Oh, I know what you're talking about, because if you're talking in centimeters, it looks, or it's
Oh.
bigger because the number's
I
bigger.
saw
Yeah,
that.
okay,
I
I
saw
get
that
it.
TikTok.
I get it. I
Yeah.
get it.
They were using the other side of the pencil.
Yeah,
Or
yeah.
not
The
pencil,
number's
but
bigger, so that means
ruler.
I'm bigger. Yeah. No, that's not how that works.
Yeah.
Because it's what, like 2.5 centimeters per inch. So you rocking 4?
Hell yeah.
Hey, four's better than 2.5. Oh, well,
I have a question.
you don't have to yell it.
Oh, I do, because I don't have a mic. I want to make sure they hear me. Who are some people who've influenced you guys the most? Or what are some things that influenced you the most?
Hitler.
He's probably right. He just can't grow the stash. He's too ginger.
Okay.
Also, you're
What
not
if-
Aryan, so that wouldn't work. Aryan's blonde hair, blue eyes, second generation, so that doesn't work. It does for me too. It works for me. I'm technically Aryan. I wouldn't. I don't believe in Hitler's theology by any means necessary. I'm a piece of shit in regards to quality. It's like I can't beat up somebody. I'm not like top tier
what if
quality.
that whole situation was just a misunderstanding?
What do you mean?
With
How could
he
that
said,
be?
"Bring me the Jews." What if he just meant "bring me Jews"?
The juice? Yeah, because he's German. Could you bring me the juice? Someone just misinterpreted it, and then they were too far into it. We're like, well, we can't turn back now. So maybe he just liked his orange juice warm. Put them in the oven, you know? Put the juice in the oven? Like, yeah. He just wanted it warm. Yeah, he just misunderstood.
But let's bring it back to just.
Oh, yeah, sorry.
question.
Who we draw inspiration from?
Jews.
Who had
Doesn't sound like-
who had more who had the most
Who
insp-
has influenced you the most, or what has influenced you the most in life?
Oh, boy.
Deep.
I was about to say a funny one. It's not true. Johnny Sins, baby. I'm kidding. I mean, the man has literally a career in every field. And he seems to be good with the ladies. So,
I don't even know who that is, to be honest. Oh,
bald guy, Mr. Clean, if you want to call him that. He looks like Mr. Clean a little bit. I don't actually draw inspiration from him, I swear.
I don't watch porn.
I don't either, but he's kind of a meme lord right now. So,
Oh,
yeah. So I had to bring him up.
fair enough.
Yeah. But, I mean, in all honesty, who...
Tough question.
It'd either be my dad or someone else, because there's a lot. Like, there's a lot of male figures that I think I drew a lot of inspiration from. Maybe not like direct inspiration, but at least learn some shit from them enough to. Because my Scoutmaster would be one that I probably drew some from, learned some things too. And then same thing with my dad, and then maybe Timmy.
Yeah, Tim Edgeburn. Yeah.
But as far as who draws the most, I like. It's a deep question. And then, was there a what attached to that? Like what?
Yeah, what in general?
Oh, to be-
influenced you?
Now that I think about it, it's not someone I've met, and I've thrown his name out there before, but Jordan Peterson in a way. I think. You may not know who that is. Do you know who that is?
I was reading the comment.
Oh yeah, I could see your lip quiver. I'm like, are you gonna laugh?
I'm about to cry.
He scares me.
But do you know who that is?
Who?
Jordan Peterson.
Jordan Peterson. I mean, it sounds familiar.
So he gained a lot of popularity because of his stance on a certain Canadian law that he was kind of standing up against.
I know who you're talking about.
Yeah, he's a clinical psychologist, but I draw a lot of inspiration from him because you can tell that even though he's broken, he still wants to help people, and that's a lot of my personality. So seeing someone be successful in the public atmosphere and that much to where he can inspire enough young guys to actually get their life in order is actually, I draw some inspiration from that because that's what I want to do.
That's fair.
Maybe not just young guys, but young people.
Yeah.
Even though I'm kind of young, especially in comparison to whom I've just brought up. What?
Can I get an oh yeah?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Is that what you wanted, or did you want to? Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
I like that.
I love it when you do that to me.
Yeah.
Oh, please.
I guess we'll see which one in about 8 seconds. Which one he was asking for, female or male?
But probably the
No.
Okay, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just pushing all the buttons.
Yeah. I wonder if they can hear the male,
I think it's
female.
Well, no.
Oh, we get that in our ear and it's so annoying.
Yeah, it is. It's very annoying.
Baby. Although that actually sounded pretty nice. I wish that the voice sounded that nice.
But probably the two people that brought the most inspiration was my grandfather and my dad. In my
Yeah.
life. Especially my father did, of course, but my grandfather was a big inspiration on my life. So
Yeah.
probably him. Yeah. Oh,
Wait.
the
Give in to the urge. Let your spirit free. It's killing you not to make it worse. What? Yeah. Wait. When did I call you out? Oh, well. We'll figure it out. Oh. Just do it like Nike. Problem is these comments are 8 seconds behind, so it's hard for us to know. Because, okay, how the stream works is what we say will happen 8 seconds later from when we said it. So if we say something like I'm saying it now, it'll come to you 8 seconds later, and then you'll comment, which will take another 3 seconds. So by the time we actually get to the point of reading it, it's
and
like
we're on something else because our
Math.
brains are just,
whoa.
you know.
Maybe Justin could do better at figuring out what they're trying to say because I can't. Oh yeah, go ahead, clip it. I don't care. I don't care. Clip whatever. If it's funny.
I don't care. Yeah,
If it's out of context, the better, you know?
Yeah.
Especially when he's like, I draw inspiration from Hitler. That'd be great. Or me saying, just put the juice in the oven. That would even be better.
In the oven.
Juice. Like, just a little bit of to actually make it sound like.
Yeah.
Oh,
Man.
So, yeah.
Shit.
I don't know. Who else do I draw inspiration from? I don't know if I have any, like, do I draw any from, like, feminine characters? Because guys draw a lot of their inspiration from other, like, masculine figures in their life. Thanks.
You would have made it.
Sorry, my wife's also behind the camera, so she's I don't even know what she said, but she was just laughing.
No, you said any woman like inspiration, and
Well, it's
like
whether or
being
not
black.
I've drawn inspiration from like a woman, and if whether or not guys really do. I mean, we do from time to
telling
time.
the little story that you were confused on what happened.
Okay.
You said, I'm drawing or like, have I drawn inspiration from any woman? And then I leaned back and I was like, and then me and Ashley like locked eyes. I was just like, I have not.
I mean, I could draw inspiration from my wife, but I mean, we're in a relationship together, so I'm hoping we grow together. So it's like, if you look up to the person that you're in the relationship to, how would that? I don't know how that would work out. because it'd almost be like you're always behind them a couple steps, like you're acknowledging you're always behind them in a way. But I mean, I guess you could still be inspired. But I'm not sure if that like draws. I don't know. I don't know the way to put it into words. I just feel like if you draw too much inspiration from your significant other, then you're always. I think you always evaluate yourself as being less or behind them in some way. So I don't think that's very healthy. I still love my wife though. There's no room for you.
Good.
Sorry, I had to pull it off like a Band-Aid. I can't be one of those girls that's like, well, there's a possibility that I might be available.
No, you say this now, and then later you'll be like, give me that sweet.
Yeah.
It's because your wife is in the room.
Yeah. That's what it is. My wife's keeping me in check.
Mm-hmm.
Go away,
Ashley.
No
one wants you here.
She's not saying a single word, but she's still keeping me in check with her eyes. It's her eyes. I don't know.
It's a lot more than your eyes with me.
I guess I draw some. What? It's more than your eyes with me? Is that what you said?
So it's a lot more than just your eyes with me.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. The dark corners of my soul as well as my body.
Huh?
Well, it's more like that, you know.
Dude, this isn't a fishing tail where you literally caught something like this, but you're like, it was this big, bro.
Dude, I caught the biggest catfish the other day, the 4 inches. I show you a video of it. Oh, if I knew that it was on, and let's say we were fishing, and I knew that I had like the tiniest little fish, I'd just sell it so much. Like, oh my god, holy! And just get it in, and you got that little itty bitty fish just to joke with someone. And as long as you laugh at the right time, they know that you were fucking with them.
No, just keep it straight the whole entire time.
Yeah, I really thought it was the biggest fish, man. It was fighting so hard. You gonna keep it together? I know it's like 2 a.m., but you gotta keep it together.
I had some good comments, but
your microphone looks a little low.
Does?
Yeah, because I think you can. I'm good at distracting you.
You are.
Yeah.
There we go.
Oh, Justin's got a question. He's raising his hand.
What are your thoughts on the medical field? What needs to be changed?
Oh my.
That's all you. Oh,
God.
actually,
Well,
it
yeah.
is me.
Yeah,
right.
there's two perspectives.
I want to make sure both of you guys have thought about it.
You do that. I'm gonna put my hair up.
Ooh la la.
I think the biggest issue,
Justin, you
and I
are
know
gonna
this is
have
going to
words
seem
later.
a bit counterintuitive or counterproductive, but I think the biggest issue is actually insurance companies. I think because of the necessity, or they make the necessity for themselves, it draws in a lot of medical professionals to devote all of their time to paperwork and administrative type jobs instead of actually caring for patients. So they're always distracted. They're always burnt out. It's like any other job, like office job for a doctor. I think it's like every 20 minutes you have with the patient, you have 30 minutes of chart work. It's just, and that's why they're charting while they're with you so that they can keep up with their thing for the day, because they don't want to go home and do all of the paperwork afterward. I don't know from my own perspective. I am studying to become a doctor, but I don't understand the medical field at this point, so don't take my word as like a, well, he knows everything. It's like, no, I don't, because I haven't ever worked in the medical field. I have volunteered, though, so I got to see it from that perspective. But as far as I can tell, with our medical school, with our medical system, the problem is that we have too many administrators, which are people that kind of run the hospital or run the clinic. Too many administrators. Insurance has too much say in what a patient can or cannot do. And because of this, doctors get burnt out. And just even trying to become a doctor is such a long journey. Like, I just graduated with a bachelor's degree last year. Was it last year or this year? I think it was last year. I think it was, early 2021. So now I have to take a test. It's a huge test. It's like SAT times 2. That you got to make sure that you're top of the class when it comes to that test. Then you apply to medical schools, hope for the best, you get an interview, and after the interview you get accepted, after which you have to pay $200,000 and 4 years of schooling before you get out, and then you have 2 years of residency in which you're working, I can't remember what the number was, it's like 60 to 80, someone can look it up, but it's like 60 to 80 hours a week, and you're only making $60,000 to $80,000 a year, I think, roughly speaking, depending on what hospital or clinic you're working at. So you're making basically less than minimum, working your ass off until they basically burn you out. And then, now you got residency. It's like, yeah, you're $200,000 in debt. You spent 10 years of your life. It's like, yeah, no wonder why there's a doctor shortage. The job's not enjoyable. Everyone burns out because it's not what they originally believed at the very beginning, that they're going to help people. There's so much time that you have to dedicate to your life that no one wants to dedicate that amount of time, and halfway they get through. In fact, I go back and forth. Halfway you get through, you're like, do I really want to do this for the rest of my life? You get to that point. You have that critical point where everyone has it, and they go away. Or you're in medical school, and you're like, well, I can't take it anymore, so you leave. Or you finally graduate, but residency is what you thought, so you leave. It's like, no wonder why we have a doctor shortage. It's not easy. It's not enjoyable, and it's like, yeah, shortage of doctors also brings more workload for each doctor that is working right now. And then you have just hospitals that don't really care that much. As long as they can get patients in and out, they run it like a business, which, I mean, to be honest, hospitals are businesses. They're not public, they're private. They make money off of you coming in, off the services that are provided for you, just like a mechanic. Of course, they charge way too much, and they don't tell you how much it's going to be until after they do life-saving surgery, maybe because of ethics or maybe because they just want to hide the figure. So, yeah, there's a lot broken that I think could be fixed if we just allow people to make that decision for themselves, as well as just tell people how much shit is. Okay, you're going to go through this surgery. It's going to probably be about $20,000. If you have insurance, maybe $5,000. There's certain programs that you can do to maybe mitigate some of the costs. The reason they don't bring it up for the most part, if it's life-saving, they don't want you to ever think and wager money over person. Because what will happen typically, like if I become a father and I see that if I undergo a surgery, it's going to put my family in debt, and I'm actually going to make my family's life worse than if I don't go with it. Like that looms over your head. So they don't, for that reason, most of the time they don't. But they should still give a general list of how much surgery is, how much is per hour, that kind of thing. Because at least with the mechanic shop, you can go in and be like, how much would it cost to work on this before working on it? And they'll give you a list of things that might be necessary, which you can weed out half of it, and you can be like, okay, yeah, I have all these things that I need to do, and it's this cost, and I can do this at this point. And that's also because the car is not a human being, and it's not going to die if it doesn't get the things. But
I mean,
some cars can, but that's why you address the critical things and not the non-critical things. So
also Amazon
with what
backdrop.
Oh,
Amazon.
okay. He's answering a question.
I'm answering.
You just said you painted it.
Yes.
That'd be lying.
Yeah, exactly.
80 hours a week for residency.
80 hours a week, typical, and it's how much per year? 60 to 80,000 a year.
I don't know how much they make. I'll have to look that up.
They make dog shit wages at the very beginning. And because of this, there's a lot of hospitals like the one that your father went to, which I do not like. I volunteered there, and I have my reasons for not liking them.
I've known a few people to go there to go to nursing, after nursing, and there's
it's not a good hospital.
They're there for maybe a few months and then they leave.
It's not a good hospital. It hasn't been run very well for probably our entire lives. And the emergency room alone has, I think, 10 residents and then 2 attendings. And what residents means is someone who just got out of medical school, they have their license to practice, but they can't practice alone, so they have to undergo residency until eventually they can declare and actually practice on their own. But until then, they have to answer to an attending. It's kind of like a physician's assistant in a way. And then whenever you eventually graduate that program, if you will, you become an attending. So basically, you have 2 people that have done it for long enough, they probably know what's going on. And then you have 10 people who have no idea what the fuck is going on, and they're just going as they learn, because each situation is different. When you're in medical school, the human body is not as simple as, well, the heart has 4 chambers and each chamber does it. It's like, it's a little bit more complex than that, because sometimes maybe one of the chambers, the valves isn't working. Maybe it's this valve, maybe it's that valve. It sounds the same, but until you learn by practicing, you won't know which one's which.
$64,000 a year they make.
Yeah. Yeah. Basically less
On
than minimum.
Man.
Just right at about minimum wage. And that's that's right after they have $200,000 in debt.
I mean, that's how much debt I'm in.
Yeah, but I mean,
And it wasn't even my fault.
that's true.
So
Well, you could talk about that.
Yeah.
some bitch decided to hit me head on.
Some Karen.
You know what? At least I traumatized that kid, because all that kid saw was this man fly over the car, land on the ground, have a seizure, and then scream.
And then
"My
scream.
balls!"
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, that kid, like, my job.
That
here
kid's
is
never
done.
going to jail anymore. There wasn't a dad there, was there?
No.
So you were his dad for a second, teaching him a life lesson.
Yeah. Don't be stupid like your mom.
Yeah, that's the lesson he got, not the overwhelming sense of horror. Just
My balls!
yeah, exactly.
Well, okay, so, like, you know, she hit me, and then had 1, 2, 3, 4.
Who's Boy Wolf?
Oh, that's another.
Oh, what up? It's like,
What up, Wolf?
it's your boy Wolf. I'm like, what's up? I guess.
What's up, Wolf? How you doing? Damn, you be looking.
It's nice that you're acknowledging how much gas costs around here. Thank you.
Oh my god. Yeah.
So anyway, your accident.
Yeah, my accident. Like, I mean, you know, surgery, all that. It was like. There's $50,000 paid from her insurance, but it did not cover the rest. It was only $50,000, and then my insurance was like, nope, not our problem. So
That's always nice.
yeah,
It's nice to know that Nationwide is on your side until you get in an accident. They have to pay $50,000.
And then they
In
leave
which,
you like a father does.
In which case, fuck you. We never knew you. I don't know who you are. It wasn't Nationwide, but you know, I had to do a lingo.
yeah,
State Farm was not there.
nope, it weren't. But anyways, now I'm like 200. I think it's just 200, maybe a little bit more.
A couple of my coworkers have
$1,000
done that
in
a couple times where they just declare bankruptcy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and then the other thing going forward, whenever you have any kind of operation done and they say they give you a bill, what you can do that will almost automatically bring down that bill at least 60% is, can I have an itemized receipt for what happened? Immediately it'll go down 60% because they have to show you exactly what cost what. They don't want to do that because when they show you exactly what costs what, you're going to get livid because that gauze pad that they put on you that's maybe only this size was $430. That gauze was not $430, nor did it cost them $430 of labor to patch you up with the piece of gauze. So as long as you have it, just ask for the itemized receipt most of the time. That price will go down, and then you can also negotiate. A lot of people don't know that either.
Medical field is stupid.
Yeah, it is. Well,
It
the people in the medical
It's
field,
retarded.
not all of them. Some of them are just awful, but some
Field killed my dad.
also killed your nut.
Yeah. Even
It also
give-
saved your life in a way. It just also fucked you financially.
financially, yeah, they did do that.
Yeah,
And then,
like financially.
you know, they'd even give me the rubber ball.
I know.
Like, the fuck they slacking.
Yeah.
Like,
No, you can't afford it.
disappointment.
After all the
afford it.
yeah, can't afford that silicone rubber wall.
Mm.
It's $1,000.
I
Probably.
mean,
I mean, the surgery alone probably costs that much.
easy, yeah.
Oh, and to be
Probably.
honest, most of that cost that they're trying to push on you is overhead. It's all overhead. Administrators, and Justin can pull this up if he wants to. The price in salary increase of doctors, if you look at a graph, is only going up. Let's see, this direction. So it's only going up about yay much over the last 10 years, and then you look at administrators, and it's just shooting up. An administrator can make about $1 million a year, and the amount of college that they have to go through is maybe 4 years of business school. And after they go through the 4 years of business and they get their bachelor's in business, then now they can make $1 million a year doing something less significant than I heard that too. What was that?
I have no idea.
Did it say like Bluetooth connected? Yeah.
No idea. Was it?
I think it said Bluetooth disconnected. I think her headphones. Maybe she could hear us too. I think her headphones keep connecting to it.
Oh.
Yeah, because I noticed. I was like, and when I'm studying, I use the same thing. So I hear Bluetooth connected, and I'm like, I didn't do anything.
That was really hot.
Thank you.
How you said that?
It
It's
sounds
like,
like that.
Bluetooth connected. I want to hear that every time I hear.
damn. Do a voiceover in that.
Yeah, maybe I could get paid for my voice. That'd be nice.
Yeah.
Well, not my actual voice, but my voice is the ones in my head.
Yeah.
Yeah. I'll try to imitate them as well as I can. Do it, kill him, do it. Yeah, that voice in the back of my head.
Relatable though.
What?
I said relatable though.
Yeah, it's my. Is that paranoid schizophrenia?
Do it.
Isn't that what that's called? I know it's a form of
it's just
schizophrenia.
Schizophrenia. Yeah.
I still feel like it's. Oh, whatever. Anyway. But yeah, I feel like the medical care is a tough problem. I'm going to speak like a politician now. It's a tough problem that we must face, and the way that we must face it is, and then just go on a
Pass the
tangent
exams.
about
That's how we fix it.
what.
You know.
Yeah, I mean, you also have to act like it is a business. So don't go to the place that's fucking you over. Find somewhere else. It's like, I know it's tough, but find a different doctor if you don't trust your current one.
The lyric from one of my a singer
Actually,
that was weak.
Yeah.
I just didn't want to let it out.
It sounded like one of those voices coming out.
Anyways, yeah. Anyways, what was I saying?
Do you remember?
Fuck.
Drawing a blank there.
So administrators make $120,000 median. And
Median?
then- yeah, like just middle, and then the top 10% make $200,000 a year.
Top 10?
More than the CEO. CEO makes $150,000 at a hospital.
A year?
Yeah,
No, that's bullshit. They make more than that.
that's what it says online. You can't trust online.
They make more than that. I can
Yeah.
guarantee
They probably
you.
hide it.
They make more than that. And not only that, there's like 10 administrators per doctor. Because you got to have an administrator over the ED department, and then an over the administrator for just 2 departments, and then over the 3 departments there's another one, because there's one down here, and then it's a fucking maze of administrators everywhere. And they run the hospital. The doctors don't. They just do what they're told. And that's another problem. I think doctors kind of need to stand up for the patients a little bit more.
Yeah, they do.
Like, you can't be afraid of losing medical license or being fired if you know that it means saving a patient, even if it's not like politically. I don't know. I just kind of extrapolate from your father's situation, what they did. They were so worried. I think they were so worried not only about the money that would come in if they did the things that they did, but they were so worried to do anything other than what they've been told, because if they do, then they could easily be fired. And when you're talking about a resident, if you're fired, you will probably never become a doctor. So they have that hold over their head, because if you get fired as a resident, good luck finding another hospital to take you in, even if they let you advocate your case. Are you going to open it, or are you just going to tease? He's drinking cock.
Every fucking time.
Yeah. Have you seen the memes where sidetracking? Have you seen the memes where a cat's like licking itself like cats do, and then the person behind the camera is, and then the cat just gives them the serious eye, like, I'm gonna fucking kill you, and then they keep going, and they. It's the funniest shit. Cats, man. they can be funny, but they can be little demons too. Actually, I had a couple cats today
I love cats.
that I delivered to the house of someone who had
cats.
cats. And one of them was doing like what cats do sometimes when they kind of rub up against you to kind of get their scent on you. And I was like, you don't know me, you little slut. It's like I delivered pizza to this house maybe once
They are
before.
pussies.
Nice.
See, I was going to make that joke earlier, but I was
Yeah.
like, that's too easy.
And then there's this other cat that was kind of in a cage outside, which weirdest thing I've ever had. Mobile home, backwoods. I was like, well, it's probably dinner. And it was chirping. It's like a weird chirp.
Yeah.
But it was like a chipmunk chirp. It was the weirdest thing. I was like, what the fuck is going on? So I put my hand up because, you know, when you greet a
you do
cat,
like
you got to kind of put your hand to where they... Kind of, yeah.
It's like that.
But it did it all the time. It's the weirdest thing. I was like,
I know
why?
so much cat that does that.
Yeah, it just sounded
Really
like a
weird.
chipmunk. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah, it's really weird because it's not like a normal cat by any means. It's like... It's like...
Dolphin?
All right.
Or a turtle having fun?
Did I see you raise your hand earlier?
Was it about administrators earlier?
Probably,
Yeah.
Oh,
That's probably what
okay.
it's about. I
mean,
can
I-
ask you another question though.
Oh,
Directed to you.
directed to Austin.
Yeah.
All right.
What is some good advice for someone who wants to start a business?
Don't.
Just do it.
Don't.
I mean, there's really...
You have Amazon that's going to fuck you over. Google that's going to fuck you
Well, it
over.
depends on what-
YouTube that's going to fuck you over. All of these
depends.
businesses are going to fuck you over.
depends.
Don't do it.
But what if they buy your business?
Boom.
Then make a fake business, sell it as... There's been a lot out there lately. A lot of businesses that are really actually pretty fake. Like, okay, I don't want to get in trouble here. I know if I like jab at a company, then they might come after me. One that I can think of that may or may not be is Rivian. Anyone heard of Rivian? You've heard of Rivian? No? Have you heard of Rivian?
Nope, I'm gonna look it up.
It's an electric car company that has made a truck. They've only sold about 1,000. They're worth $30 billion because Amazon and Ford have a stake in the company. Here's the problem. Rivian has not really made that many cars, and I think their deal with Amazon is like 30,000 electric vans by like 2025. They're not going to hit the mark. It's like, this company doesn't really... I mean, at least they came out with a product, because there's another one. It was called Nikola. Obviously, it's Nikola Tesla is the guy's name, so Tesla, the name of the company, comes from this guy, his last name. But there's another company that uses first name, Nikola. It's like, oh, we can see what you did there. There's this, I think as far as I could tell, the contention is that the company was made by someone who has been known to con, whether or not the company is fake. But they were trying to make the first electric semi-truck. And they sold it to GM for like, I can't remember. It was either $1 billion or $1 trillion. I can't remember. It was a lot. They sold the project to GM, and what GM didn't understand is that even in the video that they shot with the truck moving, it was rolling downhill. The car doesn't actually turn on except for the lights. It's a truck, actually a semi-truck, so I keep saying car. But it's like you have a lot of companies coming out right now that are really not true companies that people got to watch out for. So anyway, the question was, should you, or what was the question? It's like, should you start a business, or
Well,
What is some good advice?
good advice? You just said do it.
yeah, you just gotta honestly just...
Take one step at a
Yeah.
time. You go
Yeah.
Come on, take
you,
a risk.
You just gotta... Yeah, because it's...
Life's too short not to take a risk, to sit in your house all day. Like, I got this great idea. It's like, at least try it.
Yeah. I mean,
You're $200,000 in debt. It's not like,
yeah, it's not like I'm... I mean, like, you can't... I mean, you can go lower than that, but
Yeah.
I mean... It's kind of like, well, I mean, I'm fucked either way, so might as well just try for something.
Technically,
perhaps-
this is kind of a business venture, a little
mean-
bit. We're not making shit right now,
we're
but
not we're
who
not
knows?
gonna be
10 years
making-
down the road, we're gonna look back and be like, poor. Look at that $20 backdrop with our
Hey,
like
you know what?
$1,000 setup.
It's a sick backdrop, though.
Yeah.
really is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
Sometimes you can find good things for cheap.
Yeah.
Just like Austin.
Like me.
Yeah. That's his
find me any
business,
quarter.
by the way.
Mhm.
He's what is it called? An escort?
Escort
I
service?
don't know if you're that
I mean,
good for an escort.
I'm
because that's
the
like
pimp.
top of the tier.
pimping, bro.
Yeah, but
I'd be pimping.
Except
I'd
it-
be the pimp.
okay, you'd be the
I am
pimp.
the
That means
pimp.
you're not actually putting your ass out there.
No.
Like you're okay.
That's
Like
the job
what?
of the pimp. It's basically what's the best way of putting it? It's like a manager.
Yeah.
So you take a manager who's in charge of a whole bunch of different ones. So if the girl's not getting enough money, he just slaps them. Better give me my goddamn money, bitch.
That's
Yeah.
what I got the rings for.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To give some extra oomph. Yeah.
Yeah.
Some guys like that black eye. I don't know. Maybe they're into that shit. Never know. I said black eye, not black guy. Just don't take me out of context there. I
yeah.
swear, every time I say black eye, I keep like you can kind of hear the same thing as black guy a little bit. If you're trying to say it fast, like black eye, it sounds like black guy. It's like just say it 5 times fast, and you just keep saying the wrong thing. So
But with like starting a business, honestly, just go for it. Like,
okay, here's some other advice: do some research
yeah,
first.
I mean, do some research. Know your competitive.
Yeah.
Like who you're going up against. What are the big competitors in the area? What do they do? Find out their pricing.
Yeah. Because just
I mean-
don't run into something without
what-
first going, oh, what is this like?
I mean, luckily I had someone that
That's true.
knew the industry, so I didn't have to necessarily start from scratch. So in that way I was fortunate, but like with something that I'm trying to bring to our
She found you for free. I mean, that's true.
did. I mean, technically not, because I mean, she had. Oh, actually, wait. Rocket League would be
Rocket
at the
League's
time-
free now.
At the time, it was you had to pay to play Rocket League.
I feel like that
And-
that only proves.
you had to pay for PS Live, so technically, you did not meet me for free.
Good point.
That also shows that if a game costs just $10, you weed out all of the fucking cringy bullshit people who aren't actually there to really play. Like, on Rocket League, how there's people walked in because it was free and they're like,
Yes.
yeah.
Yes.
At least when it's $30, you have something invested in it, not just
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm just gonna try.
I mean, it was nice because it brought more to the game, But at the same time,
Epic Games.
Anyways,
Epic Games kind of stuff.
but
So.
with the business that I have, like we're gonna be starting some new stuff that we have really tried to get into, but we just can't get our foot in the door. So right now I'm trying to take care of that. So I'm doing all the research, doing all the finding who's the big competitors, like I was talking about. Also costs, like the fees, because we have to make dump fees. So you got to make sure that you have to put that into your pricing. You have to do all these things. There's a lot that actually goes into it. So, do your research.
Like, make it shine up more.
Not in our eyes.
Because I realized that it was casting a
Yeah,
shadow on
that might
half
be
of
my
my
fault.
face.
But yeah, just do your research. And honestly, just go for it. Make sure that you're licensed. You got all the proper permits.
I'd say just do it like you start any new adventure.
Mm-hmm.
Do research and then eventually get into it. Don't.
Yeah. I mean, you just really got to send it
Yeah.
at the end of the day. Like
Yeah.
once you get everything, you just kind of
You're gonna not know everything. It's like
Yeah.
a road trip. Planning a road trip.
you're gonna.
You don't know what's gonna be on the road trip, but you
That's-
can plan it out ahead before you get there. So.
Is that better?
I didn't pay any extra to meet you specifically. Is that better?
I mean,
I
yes.
guess, yeah.
We could change that.
You also had to pay for the Wi-Fi and the
Exactly,
electricity.
so technically-
and- but it's still not.
I'm one of
anymore.
your most expensive friends. I'm trying to make myself feel special, okay?
It doesn't work.
Shut the fuck up.
You can't make
Shut
a
up.
turd special.
I-
Actually, you can.
No, you
can't
can.
Yeah, you can make it into a sculpture.
Oh, I
Yeah.
was more
Oh, you're talking about like
thinking about like just dressing it up in like clothes dolls. Being like,
yeah.
make it all
Mr.
pretty.
Hanky.
Put a face on. Oh my god, from
Yeah, South Park. God. I'm not a tell your tale. I don't know why it sounds like the.
I know what I was gonna say about the medical field about an artist. It just clicked back into my head. It was like Big Pharma doesn't kill you, dog, because every customer that you heal is a customer lost.
That's a good way of putting it.
So I mean,
That's why I said,
Anyway.
find a good doctor.
that's
One that actually
sidetrack.
cares
It
about
just-
making you better. Because I've heard a lot of horror stories about people having doctors that didn't care about them and in every point just tried to find something that mitigated some symptoms so they're always coming back kind of thing. It's like,
Yeah.
I think there's still doctors that do cash that are pretty cheap. You just go for them for cash, and if you have anything else serious, you just have like, what is it called, liability insurance or something like that? Liability health insurance, which is just covers anything that's really expensive rather than covering the mundane day to day. Because most prescriptions don't actually cost that much. It's the insurance that makes it cost that much.
You just go to Mexico.
Yeah, that's a great idea. That's what our coworker does. She just goes to Mexico. I gotta do a root canal. Because she's like, the ticket to go there and back and to do the operation and to stay there a week is cheaper than doing it here. It's like, I guess you make a trip out of it, but you're taking a risk. God forbid you get it infected. That'd be bad. Well, you don't want to mess with your teeth that much.
Yeah, that's big yikes. Yeah, no, that's expensive.
But for a testicle, I mean.
I mean, I had to, fly someone out for that. So
Yeah.
You're special.
I had to have a testy expert. What would you even call a doctor that specializes in testicles? Would you still call that a proctologist?
no,
Because it's not a gynecologist. Well, it might be. Because technically, in a way, you're kind of making.
I don't know what they would like
Yeah, what would you
Label
call
them.
that?
label themselves as, or like be
Guy that likes
labeled
balls.
The ball doctor.
Ball doctor.
as the ball doctor. What was that show? That was televised. It was like Dr. Pimple Popper. Or,
Yeah. It used to be on YouTube. I watch that shit all the time.
Yeah, honestly, like.
No, I don't watch
anything
the
like
show
that-
because the show is just the same thing over and over again. It's a lipoma. No, it's a lipoma. No, it's a lipoma. That one might be cancer. Not cancer. That one's a lipoma.
Yeah, get to the
It's a
people
lipoma.
dying. Like,
It's like-
get to the serious.
No, I understand why. Is because you can't televise the really nasty shit. Just televise the really nasty shit. That's what I want to see. I can't smell it, so it's really not that bad. But I want to see that cyst just shoot off and hit someone in the eye. That's what I want to see.
Have you ever had one
Let's
of those?
start a show.
Yeah. She started on YouTube. Why can't
I
we?
could've-
Yeah, but I'm not
I
a
could've-
dermatologist.
I could have insulted you
We
so
could've
much.
gone to Mexico.
About what? No, do it. I don't give a shit.
Do it.
Do it. You won't, pussy.
Yeah, we could start a show just on your face.
Yeah.
I'm just kidding.
It really hurt.
You did say do it.
I'm gonna go
did it.
kill myself now.
Bet. I'll join.
So
Oh,
depressing.
sweet. Suicide pact. Let's go. Everyone listening. Let's go. Let's do this. Kidding. Don't. Please. God, don't.
Pound it.
Uh,
Pound me.
I have a little bit
Pound
of hope
me.
left. I gotta let that hope die first, and then I'll come back to you.
Pound me.
You don't have to ask me twice.
Pound me.
I can't reach you.
Pound me anyways. Boom. I pounded. Justin gave me a good pounding. Why do I like
That was a
that
really
word,
weird moan.
pounding?
I didn't mean to do that. Let's not make it into moaning. It's 3 a.m.
Let's see.
Just every time an hour or 30 minutes pass, it's 2:30.
It's 2:30.
That'd keep people watching. Sex. That's how it works. That's how everything works. It's all about shit. Did you drink my Mountain Dew? Let me smell your breath. Let me smell your
I
breath.
think he's having a stroke.
I'm not
That's
having
a
a
meme.
stroke. Yeah, it's
That's
a meme. Yeah, I showed
it?
you. Yeah.
Let me smell your breath.
Yeah. It's a really fat guy. It's like 10 years ago, about, is when it came out. Yeah. And it's just that he comes out and he's trying to find his Mountain Dew and he can't find it. So he goes on a rant. And then halfway through the rant, he's like, "Did you drink my Mountain Dew? Did you drink my Mountain Dew? Let me smell your breath. Let me smell your breath. Oh, you Mountain Dew drinking bitch." I love that
That's
shit.
a pretty good accent. too.
It's because I was raised.
Yeah,
I was
sure.
raised. I was raised right. Wait. We got a comment that I want to look at. Yeah, it's sketchy. That's true. Everyone's got to take a risk at some point.
Yeah.
Anal. Gotta take the risk. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
Your life's so short. You gotta try it.
Mm-hmm.
Just. Oops, sorry. Just once. Hey. Anger is temporary.
Oh my God.
Doesn't think that's
Have you ever
long.
heard of the slippery gecko?
Is it like a
bet.
sexual?
It's a sexual. I think I've told you guys this.
Yeah. yeah.
Told you guys this.
There's also, I can't remember what it's called. I think it's the Pocahontas or something, but
Well, there's the
because Pocahontas is like where you take pubes, put it on the face, and you put cum on the face kind of thing. I can't remember exactly what it is.
there's a few of them, but anyways, the slippery gecko is, you're in the shower with your girl or whatever, and you're like,
There's nothing slippery about shower
nope,
sex.
you're just doing it right, doing it right.
Mhm.
Well, then you like go to move positions because you're fancy like that, right? So like she turns around and you like pin her against the wall, but then you go whoop right up the poop chute.
Oh, and
then
she's
she
trying to
tries
climb
to
up the wall. Yeah.
It's called the slippery gecko.
Oh, there is nothing slippery about shower sex. There's nothing. It's not great.
Down there it gets dry.
Yeah, because water is not a good lubricant. I don't know why movies has fantasized so many people about shower sex. It is not what it's cracked up to be. It's fine from time to time to be a little freaky, but it's not the best thing. And especially like beach sex is another one that they're like, "Oh my God, it's so hot." It's like, no. I haven't had it, but I can tell you now that sand in holes is not ever good.
There was this show that I watched, and it was like a paramedic. It wasn't aired for very long. I think it was on Netflix as well.
Was it like a
Sirens.
Chicago
It was
Med
called,
or
no,
something?
I think it was called Sirens. It was a funny show. It was a great show, honestly, and I was
I think I know it.
sad that it got canceled or deleted or whatever they did to it. But anyways, he's explaining how he got this nickname Sandy Handy because he was on the beach. It was like I think during like spring break or something like that.
As one does.
And he got a hand job but she had like sand in her hand.
Oh.
So like
No.
like he's like so he got the nickname Sandy Handy.
Oh, it's like, oh my God, like sandpaper. Oh, that suck.
Yeah.
Oh, there's probably some guys that are into that shit though. The more pain for some reason, they're like, yeah, slap my balls. I don't understand it at all. I get slapped in the balls, I'm down for like 30 seconds. I don't understand how anyone could get slapped in the balls and be like, yeah, let me keep going. It's like, that's not arousing by any means. There's some fucked up guys out there that are into that shit. Do not, if you're out there, do not admit
It's a
that into the
fetish.
comments. That is not something that anyone's going to be like, yeah, me too, bro. It's like, no. Like, that's different than, like, wanting the woman to be dominant. That is so different. That is taking it to another level.
It's nice to be like dominant at times, but also
It's nice.
Like
It's nice.
It's nice to have.
It's
them
nice to be
take
the pillow
control.
princess for once, you
I-
know?
exactly.
Yeah, to where you're like, I'm kind of tired. I have a headache. Could you just do it today? Okay, I'll just lay here. And I'm done. That's gonna get clipped out of context. Just the. And I'm done.
Pump chump over here, man.
Yeah, 2 pump. At least I'm not a 1 pump chump like you. Yeah.
Disappointment.
I last twice as long as you do.
Yeah.
Twice as long as you do.
What a second.
What? No,
last
twice as long as you do. You're
Yeah,
1
I
pump,
la-
I'm 2 chump. 2 pump. I keep saying chump. I mean pump.
It's like a second.
What?
Pump?
Yeah.
About a second.
Yeah, but it's still twice as long as you.
If you want to get technical.
Yeah, it's very technical.
Sand rubbed down anyone. Oh my god.
Yeah. If you want to get your man's attention, just sand hand, reach in pants, start going to town. I'll get his attention. He'll wake up, unless he's dead.
Sirens, yeah. It was a beautiful show.
I'm sure it was, but I'm not really big into shows, man. I think it's because a lot of them just do the same shit.
No, it was
So
it was
tiring.
all comedian. Like
Yeah,
it was all
yeah.
funny.
Yeah, I know.
It was it was
But I'm just
awesome.
saying, generally, I don't have a hard time getting into a new show because they're all the
there was
same.
One of my favorites
most
was
part.
The Bottle. This guy
He stuck something
had
in the-
was it a bottle or no, it was a bottle.
that reminds
And it
me.
was stuck in the ass. His hole. And it
Oh
was
no,
like a big
medical
bottle.
field
Oh, yeah.
things in ass,
anyways,
very common.
Yeah, it was a hilarious episode. It was
Mostly
like-
guys too. So,
Prisoners do it.
well, I mean, like just normal guys, citizens, non-prisoner. There's a lot.
It's like that 911 call. They're fake, but like,
Yeah.
yeah, I got this. What was it? Hair shampoo in the mail, and me and my wife in the shower. You know,
and I slipped and I fell in it. And
no, it wasn't slipped and fall. She was like, "Oh man, I wish we were set up like we were further along on our podcast where we had all the technology and like
Yeah.
look up a video and
yeah,
show you guys."
that would be
but
nice. That would be
Eventually, that
nice.
will.
Eventually,
We'll get there, but
our measly little $300 setup, which also,
You
I mean,
know
I guess
what?
it's technically more than that. It's more like $1,000, but the computer is from 2013, so and it's from my phone. So if you include the cost of the phone and the computer itself, then technically we're like a $1,500 setup. But when you have shit just like this table is what $40 with the 2 chairs.
yeah, I got it.
Yeah, $20. Yeah.
I got it for like $40 on OfferUp.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That day too, I saw it. I like messaged her. I was like,
So eventually, when we got that good quality, yeah.
yeah.
That's also to go back on the show thing. The reason I don't watch shows, same thing can be applied to the new Star Wars. Like if you take Episode 4, which is the first Star Wars, I can't remember what it was called. It's what's the first one called? First one that ever came out, not the first one in the series. It's the original trilogy, the first one. I can't remember what the name of it was. But if you take the same storyline and you apply it to number 7, they're identical. They're the same fucking story sold to you twice. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah, but instead of the Death Star, we have a planet. And this planet's huge, and it's got a bigger cannon, and it can kill more things. It's like, it's like a child. It's like a
Yeah.
child wrote this shit. Because it's the main protagonist starts on a desert planet until eventually they meet a mysterious figure. And this mysterious figure just came out of nowhere and showed them that they're
Dad?
destined for more in their they're destined for more in their life, and that they show them the way of something that they didn't understand at first, but now they do. And eventually they get to meet, I can't remember, they meet someone on planet that takes them off planet on a mission. When they get to that mission, they'll meet other people, and then they'll go back to the rebel base, and after they're at the rebel base, they'll then go to whatever it is, if it's the planet or the Death Star, and they will have a almost dying moment with whoever the main antagonist is. Take Kylo Ren or Vader, either one. It's like Luke almost died because he almost got shot by Vader until Vader got shot and then eventually destroyed the Death Star. What? Didn't he get shot? Darth Vader in the first one, whenever he's in like his little TIE fighter and then he gets shot and he kind of spins off for however long that was. Because he almost got to Luke. I can't remember what caused him not to. It's been a while since I watched that movie, but
Maybe. I need to rewatch them. It's been a while.
It's
And then-
called A New Hope.
the first
New
one,
Hope.
yeah. And
They're
then
just horrible though.
halfway through, the person that was trying to help them in some way dies. So you have Obi-Wan Kenobi who dies for Luke, and then you have Han Solo that dies for Rey. It's like, it's the same story, and eventually you get to the end, and how stupid would you have to be as an Empire to have a Death Star that has a vent that you can just pop a little bomb into and immediately it explodes? And the second one you get to fly into and you can just explode the main reactor and get out. And then the third one, which is his main planet, literally has basically the same setup as the original Death Star, where it's literally all you got to do is walk in, turn off the reactor, and ta-da, the planet's blown up. It's like, come on. This is stupid. Ugh.
True. You're really cute.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Anyway, don't want to get too much into a tangent, but it's the same fucking story.
They should have made the Life Star Jedi's. Should have made a huge star to shoot the Death Star.
Light Star.
Life
Yeah. Star. Yeah. It burns brighter than the Death Star. Oh, so stupid. So you could have done so much better too. Like, even just having older Luke later in his life with all the different troubles that he has, because there's so much like written content about Luke after the sixth movie, technically the third movie. It's like you could have just played on that. I don't know why they had to do what they did. What are you looking up? Porn? I mean, you don't get hard anymore, so it's probably gay. Probably gay porn.
You want that knife out of my back?
What? Oh, yeah. I'll just sink it in deeper. Don't worry. I'll find another
Maybe
way.
I'll feel something that way.
Oh, I'll give you something to feel.
That's a threat I hope you make into an action.
Yeah, I will, but not
Please.
not at this moment in time.
Disappointing.
My wife's is in the other room. She hears.
So?
She's gonna know something's up.
I mean,
Especially if the shower comes on afterwards. Oh my god, this has just gone into like a. Oh, what the fuck is this? You know?
yeah.
You gonna ask another question, Justin, or are we gonna go somewhere else?
I was thinking we're going to talk about your.
I mean, it's a bit late again.
Oh, we don't want to do it?
I mean, what, 39 minutes?
Yeah, we got
I
40
could-
minutes.
You could do the first part of it anyway. The same thing you have?
Depression.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. The thing that makes us look happy, but on the inside.
We're all dying.
Yeah, exactly. Hope is lost. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know where to begin.
Where did you
August 11th, 1999. I was born.
That's where it began.
No, I'd say for the most part, it kind of began at the same time yours did, after I graduated. I didn't realize it. I know that sounds stupid, but I didn't realize that I was depressed until 4 years later. I didn't realize that graduating had such an impact on me that I was carrying, but I wasn't addressing it. And I think it also has to do with when I was younger, both Justin and I, and my entire family, were kind of uprooted when I was 6 years old. We moved from Wichita, Kansas to where we are today and left all family, all friends behind. And that wasn't too big of a deal. When you're that young, you can make new friends. That wasn't the main thing, but it was the going back and forth that I think helped me make improper coping mechanisms. So you'd go back and then you'd be there for a week or so. You'd be happy. And then as a kid, when you're leaving, you see your grandparents, your friends, everyone. As you're leaving, you start crying because you're like, I don't want to go. I don't want to go
always knew
again.
you were weak.
I was 6. Anyway.
Weak.
It's like, I didn't want to go. I didn't want to go. And then 3 times later, maybe I would cry, but I'd kind of hold it in. And then the next time I wouldn't cry, and then I wouldn't cry. And I think over time I started to develop almost like tricks to prevent myself from seeing or having other people see me as being emotional, even though on the inside it was the same.
You were a pretty emotional kid, though.
I mean, that's true.
Growing
I
up.
have a harder time, and I don't know why. I think it's because it's genetic. I have a harder time stopping myself from crying whenever I'm talking about something sentimental, or I can't remember what else. Pain doesn't do it. Losing someone doesn't do it for me that much. But just, I don't.
Yeah, but you haven't really lost. I mean,
I've lost some people along the way.
but I'm saying like really close to you.
True. Yeah,
It's different.
But I have a harder time controlling cry emotion. It's almost I can't think of it. It's like it's intuned in me and I can't turn it off. It's
It's
just
like sneezing.
yeah, it's kind of like sneezing. The second it's coming on, I can't stop it. And I think it's mostly genetic from my mom's side. My mom does the exact same thing. If she gets choked up, it's just nonstop. It just happens.
Yeah,
But
same thing
anyway,
with my mom.
fast forward with the same tricks that I had in my mind to not let people see that part of me, not be vulnerable, I think is the main thing. Like I would still cry, I'm a kid. I'd still get angry, I'm a kid, but I wouldn't try to make anyone assume that I was vulnerable in any way. So if I was crying, then it wasn't because it was necessarily vulnerable for me. It wasn't coming from a point of where someone could come around and call you a bitch and it really actually hurts you in some way. Whereas if you're crying for something that you're obviously being a bitch, you're like, okay, fine, I'm a bitch. But it's like,
Every time you say tricks, I don't know why it keeps popping in my head, but it's like
Dicks?
silly. Tricks are for kids.
oh yeah,
I don't know
silly
why.
rabbit tricks are for kids.
I don't know why, but that.
Yeah.
Anyways, continue.
You ever wonder why it changed from shapes to circles? Because we grew up. Tricks are for kids. It turned into circles. It used to be shapes. At least from what I remember, it used to be shapes. Oh. Anyway. Stop sidetracking me, bitch. So, I start to make strong...
You're crazy.
I start to make stronger connections with people closer to me, especially in high school. We had youth group for the most part is where all my friends came from, including my family too. I know it sounds strange for most people, but the closest friends I ever had growing up were my older brothers, my sister, and then my parents. We were always really close. We fought, don't get me wrong, but we were pretty close. Not in that way. Not in that Alabama way.
I thought I made a bigger impact in your life.
What? Oh, sorry. I forgot to mention you. That's because I meant to.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
pretty forgettable.
No, I'm trying to speak from the heart, and you're stopping me.
That's what you were doing to me the whole entire time.
That's
I
true.
am now you.
That's true.
Okay. I could be quiet. I
But
could
yes,
do alone.
also you. But again,
Spite, bitch.
eventually got to the point where you guys graduated, and I could feel something different. But I think for me, I was distracted by now being pretty much the older one of the youth group, so I had to kind of carry myself as some kind of example, or at least in my own head, I saw myself that way. Because there wasn't someone older to be like, I can act like a doofus because they're the older one, and now I'm the older one. It's like, well, I can't do anything now. But eventually graduate high school 2017. I think I was 17 years old. And just didn't see anyone anymore. Just didn't see anyone. And for me, not only because of my childhood of constantly saying goodbye to people, I think maybe because of that, but also because of my personality, I hold on to things for such a long time. Like, for other people, having a friend that you kind of knew, but you didn't really hang out that much, and you eventually separate, you feel something. But for me, it's like a deep loss, as if in my mind I will never see that person again, and it is as if they had died. That's the significance it brought to my life. And maybe it was smaller in some ways, like, if you do have a dead friend, if you have a friend that dies, it's not the same as your father dying kind of thing, but it was still pretty significant. It wasn't just like, oh, they're gone now, that's fine. It's like, no, it really would not me. And I kind of distracted myself after graduating. I started college right after that. I think I graduated, and then when did I graduated in June, and then I started college in September. So I didn't have a lot of time, and I was still hanging around in the youth group up until about August. I think even went to Africa that year too. Yeah, that's when we went to Africa together. That was my last time in the youth group. So technically fully graduated from the youth group in August, middle August, and then I started school in September. So I could sense something was off, but because I was so focused on the next stage of my life, I distracted myself in school for 4 years. Yeah, they're about 4 years. Which I think school actually made it worse too, because I would have friends that would make over, let's say, a quarter long, which is about 3 months. I'd make a friend over like a 3/4 month period kind of thing, and then you wouldn't see them anymore. So it's just kind of like little tacks just hitting me just a little bit, and it's just getting to me. And then eventually I would have friends that I was with the entire length of college, and then they would graduate before me, and I was like, man, something's going on here. I didn't know what it was, but I was like, something's off. Like, I don't know what it is. And I thought it was when I tried weed for the first time. I thought that was my main source of whatever the fuck was going on with my head. I had done, I guess, to bring up that story, I had, for my first time when I was 21 years old on my birthday, I had 2 edibles. I overdosed. And you don't die, but I did overdose. And I spazzed the fuck out. And I had neurological effects that lasted a year and a half. Like serious neurological effects that lasted for a year and a half. I could touch something hot and wouldn't feel it until about 3 seconds later, and that was months after I'd had it. Something was wrong, and I could tell that something was wrong. And I thought it was because of that. I was like, yeah, I'm probably depressed because I don't have any hope now, because what I once used to be is not what I am now, so now I'm just lost hope. So I get to graduating college, which for most people is like, woo, yeah, but for me it was like, oh yeah, there's a sudden excitement, and then it was like, it just felt like something was not there. Like, I didn't have any sense of reward. I didn't have any sense of, like, achievement. It was just like, well, yeah, and it's done. It was the weirdest thing. I kind of just sloughed it off because that next week, my brother, my wife, and I went to San Antonio to visit my parents who had moved that year for, like, a graduation present is mostly what that was for. And while we were there, you know, we were doing all the stuff that you do in San Antonio. You know, Six Flags was one major part, and then like SeaWorld and all of the major amusement parks that are there. And you'd think that, you know, you're excited about all of these things, but after all of it had happened, I can't remember where I was. I just told my wife, I'm like, it doesn't feel like, I don't know, what's the best way of putting it? It doesn't feel like we're doing anything. It feels like I'm numb. Like, we're doing all these fun things, but I don't really feel it. And she nonchalantly was like, oh, you might be depressed. You bring that up out of nowhere. I'm like, there's no reason I'm depressed. There's no reason I'm depressed. So I even told her that, and she can, whenever she comes on here, she can say that aloud to you. I'm not lying. I didn't think that I was depressed. I had no reason to be depressed, I thought, at that point. So I just lived my life normal. And then right after that, my wife and I went up to where I was born in Wichita. And this was the first time that my wife had gone. And I'd been quasi-fantasizing about this since we got together, because you always kind of want to bring your family to where, or bring those closest to you to where you grew up, so you could show them all of the fun things that you did when you were little and where you grew up, kind of thing. And I didn't really get that for 4.5 years, and I was really like anticipating going, and then we finally get there, nothing. It's like I'd anticipated this moment for such a long time, and it's just numb. It's like nothing. I was like, this sucks. It's like the food that Justin and I would always mull over, like Brahms was a big one. Freddy's was another one. It's like these places delicious from when I remembered it, but whenever I went, didn't taste anything. It's just didn't feel like anything. There was no substance to whatever I was doing. So after we got back from the trip, I just had like that you might be depressed kind of thing going over in my head. And it's like, okay, I'm going to sit down. I'm just going to write down maybe some reasons why it might be, just to see. You know, I need to see if whether or not there's any substance to this. So I sit down, I go on like the notes app on my phone, and I just write down the first thing, and it's like, I don't see my brother or my parents anymore. I was like, oh shit. It's like, until I wrote it down, I knew that it was there, but I wouldn't address it. I would see it, but the second I wrote it down, it was like, click. That's why. It's like you lost your deepest connections and relationships in pretty much a single year. I don't see my oldest brother anymore. At about that same time, I didn't see my oldest sister that much either. And then both my parents moved away. It was like, the closest relationships I've ever had are gone. And it's like, oh shit. It's like, I think I'm depressed. So eventually, I don't even go to my wife about it, because from my perspective, and I think any rational person can also come to the same conclusion, is I saw it as if, what if she was? So if she came to me and said that she was depressed, what would I feel? I'd be like, immediately I would internalize it as it being my fault. It's like, if you're not happy, that's because I failed at my job to make you happy. So I didn't want to tell her, because it's like, I don't want to put that on someone to make them think that they're the sole reason, or they're any part of the reason as to why I'm not happy, because not the case. So I was too afraid to tell my wife, which I don't think anyone would blame me for. So I eventually went to a mutual friend at the church, and I just kind of laid out, the reasons I might be, and then just kind of said, hey, I think I'm depressed. And he encouraged me to tell Ashley, and he kind of put it in a logical sense. He's like, that's not something you want to hide. So it sucks to bring it out in the open, but if you hide it away, it only increases the suspicion of there being the reason. So yes, it's gonna suck at first, but you gotta be honest with the other person, because they're gonna want to help you too. And to have people at least have your back gives you something to start with. So eventually, yeah, I told her probably the next day, and then from then on out, I started meeting with that mutual friend probably once every 2 weeks or so, just kind of talking about what the source might be, and then other things that were wrong with me at the time, including, and I think it has somewhat, or at least sets you up for being depressed, pride. So I didn't see it until it's too late, but I was very prideful, and it's causing me to become bitter, especially about myself and my inability to love myself. To kind of look and see that I have such a high vision for myself that anytime I miss the mark, it's like, you fucked up. You're not doing good. It's like almost getting to the point of like, you're worthless. You need to do better. So I was constantly sensing the idea of unworthiness through my own eyes, and that had something to do with the depression, as well as setting up myself for even having the depression come into my life. To be so proud of myself that I don't think that it is possible that I could be depressed. That was my sole belief, and now having at least some idea of going through it, I understand just how stupid I was. It's like, yeah, you're so strong, you can't be depressed. It's like, it's like saying when you're younger, it's like, oh, there's nothing that can kill me. It's like, yes, there is. Like, you can't blind yourself to the things of this world, otherwise they'll just snatch you up so fast. So sad. So yeah, I've been working on it. I think I've fixed some part of it. It's still trying to practice not distracting myself as much. The biggest problem for me with depression, and I think it's for a lot of people too, is you try to distract yourself away from it to feel better. But the longer you distract yourself, the stronger the depression gets, the deeper it gets. So you just gotta look at it head on and have the support group to go through it. And with me, faith is a big thing. Just what? We have 4 hours?
No, we're good.
Yeah. Yeah. But I was so afraid at first telling her. I was like, yeah, it's probably I don't want to do that. But she took it the best way any wife could. I couldn't have asked for a better wife because it was a year in. We'd been married for a year. We didn't even quite have our first anniversary yet, and I lay down, hey, I'm depressed. Like, huh, you're married, you should be happy, and now you're depressed. Something's wrong. Now, where to go from here? I guess I could talk somewhat about what it feels like for me as far as depressed, because if I can at least help someone understand what it feels like, then maybe they don't have to wait as long to wake up to it. So for me, like I said, with writing, it helps me reflect and actually see some things. So I don't remember how long ago, it could have been a couple weeks ago, I just kind of wrote this down. Just kind of what depression feels like to me. Depression is like a physical sickness that needs to be healed. It grasps onto its victims with sharp talons, affecting every aspect of its host's life. It hides itself as a common friend, one that can be trusted and welcomed, but once it latches on, it can destroy the strongest. Its aroma is emptiness, an overwhelming sense of despair and loss. If one word could describe its symptoms, it would be meh. All strong emotion is sanded down, every experience left devoid of meaning. If left unattended, it can grow faster than any weed with roots that feel impossible to remove. It is not like a dark cloud hovering above. Instead, its effect is more expansive than planets to those who experience its wake. Its length seems infinite to those undergoing its trail. Yeah, I remember writing that out. But now that I look back at it, I can see that I don't feel that way as much anymore. So, I mean, to anyone out there that just kind of has some of those symptoms, it's like, you gotta address it, because if you let it, it'll keep going. It'll find more areas of your life to fuck up somehow. So,
I'm trying to see if I have any notes about
that's my depression.
anything about that.
I tried to give myself some hope after I wrote it, because I didn't want to seem like super... So this is kind of where I am now, and this is the next passage I wrote. But like any other physical sickness, there's a hope in healing. I understand now that undergoing the sickness, I am unable to cure it myself. There's one stronger than any depression. Although it is hard for me in this time, I hold on to my God. I will continue to let him guide me back to the path he has called me to, cutting down the weeds until the grasp of the sickness leaves me. I am sure that the path I cannot see now, but soon will be revealed again to me, will bring wholeness that I have yet to experience. Although I am unsure of walking its path, I choose it as much as he has chosen me. Not to get super religious, but that's for me.
That's, I think, like the only thing I have in my notes.
As far as...
Just like inspirational toward like
yeah.
I actually wrote. Not really, but
so Austin wrote, running from your problems isn't going to help anything. The best thing to do is to turn around and face the problem and take care of it as best as you can. And I'd even add on to it, just for me it's God, because I can at least understand in my own perspective that if some being out there loves me so much that he's always with me, and I can feel like there's always someone there to help me through everything, I don't feel like I'm alone. Because the worst thing you can do in depression is feel like you're alone. That's what it wants. It wants you to feel lonely. That's the point of depression, is to remove so much hope from your life. The only way to do it is to try to make you feel like you're removed from every aspect of your life. Live fast, die young, and leave a sexy corpse along the way. That's a pretty good fucking note.
Why have that? I don't know.
Yeah.
But you know what? It's there.
To be
I'm
honest,
just trying to
I know
find-
it sounds kind of sadistical, but I'm kind of glad I've gone through depression now.
Yeah.
It makes me understand. It makes me understand how much of a bitch I am.
Well, I don't know. I feel
How much I need more things to my life than
It's-
just everything around me. I don't need a phone. I don't need a car. I don't need a house.
We'll see.
I just need some kind of meaning in my life that drives me for the tomorrow. And car's not going to do it. Phone's not going to do it. But having a relationship does it for me anyway.
It's like I like failure for me. Like I love failure. I don't like failing, but I love failure as
I'm the opposite.
failure is something that where you fail and you learn. You learn from failing. Not everyone. Some people make that the defining decision and then they won't get back up after that.
Yeah.
They let it cripple. But the majority of people fail. Let's say at a job they fail. Like,
Everyone
they haven't
fails.
messed up. They make a mistake. Well, you know,
It's what they choose to do
immediately
after.
you're like, I'm not going to do that again. Like that's an automatic learning. Like if you didn't have that, you wouldn't learn so fastly without falling or failing. So I think failure is one of the best things. Honestly, it just depends on, I guess, you as a general and see how you take it in a way.
The reason
what you
I've
do with
definitely not enjoyed failure is because, like I said, with my pride, anytime I failed, it'd be a source of my own. You could say my intelligence is one of my worst enemies. The idea that anytime you fail, you'll remember it, and that only leads to your idea of your unworthiness. So every time I fail, it almost proves to my own intelligence that I am not worthy of something. I don't know what it is, but I think that's mainly the source of my anxiety when it comes to my greatest fear, which is failing. Which, I mean, to be honest, I have a lot weighing on my shoulders. It's not illogical. Getting into medical school is no easy feat. Getting to medical school is no easy feat. Passing, no easy feat. It's like becoming a doctor is such a fucking task. It's like just not having one of those steps succeed is like, well, now I'm set behind however many years. So, it's
Most
tough for me.
definitely.
But
Yeah.
no, I get it logically. Like you need to fail to understand experience because life is about what you do after you fail. Because if you live your life without experiencing failure a single time, then you're a little pussy ass bitch.
Mm-hmm.
I mean that
Yeah.
completely
it's-
honest. Because the second real failure does come in your life, you're gonna kill yourself.
Mm-hmm.
You didn't
Yeah, I
set
mean-
yourself up for it.
Well, I don't know if I mentioned this something on the last podcast, but if you were to have someone that's naturally skilled at, let's say, a sport, and then someone that has fallen and failed, but got up every single time, and now they're right there neck and neck.
They'll beat that person.
They'll beat that person because they have something driving them to be better.
Yeah.
They have that. The person that's naturally gifted is just gonna be like, well, I'm not the gift, I'm not
But
going to take.
that loss for them is gonna
But that
be
loss for them is going to be detrimental because they didn't have that hard, tough way of, I guess.
because they're gonna think, well, I'm
Going.
no longer naturally talented anymore,
I mean,
so I'm gonna
for-
quit.
For a long time, I hated your guys' life. I was like, they're so
We're not perfect.
No,
I know what it looks like on the outside coming in, but no.
right. But I'm saying like, as a general, I'm like, I would kill. I mean, especially like Austin. Whenever I'd like ask him something like
yeah,
something
now that he's
deep,
a life
he's just
or a
like,
manager at a pool.
Well, I'm saying no, just like when we were, growing up, I was like, are you sad or depressed about anything? Have you ever, like these things?
Yeah.
He was like, no,
Yep.
no.
I can tell you now that probably yes.
Yeah, but I mean, it was just like,
Especially after his condition coming back too.
yeah. But that always frustrated me.
What?
I don't know why.
What?
No, just like.
The not having any problems to deal
Well,
with.
I mean, everyone has problems. You can't get out you know, you
we
can't
looked
get away.
we looked like the perfect family from the outside. We
No,
really
you guys
did.
weren't the
Because
perfect
we were
family.
all best friends.
Yeah,
And
Well, we
so
were
didn't
well,
have
like
it bad.
our problems were minor,
yeah.
or they seemed
Well,
to be minor.
No problem is minor. Every like some like let's say like losing a dog for you guys like that. I remember you took it really really hard. And I was like, God, it's a dog. You know, I'm like, that's
I don't know which dog it was.
That's nothing.
See, our
Now-
second dog.
Now what I
that
can
one was
argue
tough.
with that. Now what I could argue with that is a dog is a family member.
Yeah.
And it is like losing a family member. So I do understand that, but at the same time I'm like, that's a fucking dog.
One, you have to know for
You
me,
know,
anytime that
it wasn't
they're near,
coming towards you
Yeah.
guys like, oh, I've been through worse. It's just like I just
You're
didn't
jealous
I didn't
almost.
understand. Yeah,
Yeah.
because I was just like, I wish like the biggest thing that I've ever gone through is losing an animal.
yeah,
You know? Like I was like, damn,
and
lucky bastards.
again, for me, like anytime it's like animal gets to the end of its life, I will remember every good time I've ever had with the dog, and I'll just remember all of those good times, and just again, it's like, and now it's over. It's like just immediate. It's like that dread and that sorrow. It's like, oh, it sucked, and especially after our dog Allie had a seizure. She had a stroke, and I was like, oh, that's fucking sad. I was like, there's no putting any kind of sugar on that and making it taste sweet. That was just like out of the blue. I mean, she was getting old. She was having a hard time controlling, but no other sign than just one day she was outside and we bring her in and she's acting really funny. She started to like kind of tilt her head in a lot, and she'd kind of look up as if someone's there, and then immediately after she started relaxing, her head went back down. I was like, oh, this is traumatizing. I mean, I was like 16, 17. It's still pretty bad. I was like, ugh. Because then you also feel guilty because it's like, how long was she out there dealing with that for herself? Because she barked a couple times, and it was a different bark than she's normally done. Like something was
like
off.
a yelp.
Yeah, it was kind of more like a yelp,
yelping.
and we're like, what's going on? And we have no idea how long she was out there like that before she yelped. But oh my goodness.
Like when our dog Jackson had he has really bad grand mal seizures. I mean, horrible.
Oh, I've experienced them. They're a fucking pain.
No, horrible. I've never seen a seizure this bad on a dog, and I've seen a lot of seizures with dogs, but I mean, this is horrible to watch.
Yeah,
Like it almost gets
it's horrible
me
to
teary-eyed.
feel.
It gets me teary-eyed, and
Yeah.
nothing gets me teary-eyed, and I'm just like, holy shit! Like it's so bad. Like if I saw a person, I'd probably be laughing.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
that's a normal response though.
But like, you know, I would of course move everything out of the way, and I would, you know, but
Yeah.
like,
I mean, to those listening, I used to have grand mal seizures, so I understand what it feels like. Not what it looks like to see a dog seizing, but I know what it feels like.
I mean, I don't remember my.
Have you ever
seizure.
been electrocuted to the point where you can't control yourself?
Yeah, I've been tased.
Now, hold on.
What?
Hold on to that for 2 minutes. It's a grand mal seizure.
I mean, tased.
Mm-hmm.
See,
Exactly what happens.
I don't remember my my seizure.
It
So
probably doesn't hurt as much as
I'm talking
being
grand
tased,
mal
it
because
feels.
there's different
Yeah,
types, but grand mal
right.
seizure feels like you're being electrocuted.
I don't know. I kind of like being electrocuted.
I mean, to the point where you feel like you can't even take the next breath. Like it's bad. It's not fun, especially as a kid. It was it's awful.
I'm that guy. That's like.
Oh yeah,
electric
tase me,
fence.
daddy.
You know, I'm like, God, bitch. And then I come back to it. I'm like, let's do it again.
Yeah.
Sounds like a
Oh, it's
fetish.
like that.
That
The
video.
group of
Yeah,
Australians, like, wow, it actually felt kind of good.
Yeah. No, I'm that guy. I am.
I am not.
Because I like that feeling. I don't know why, but like getting shocked, it's like,
I
felt good.
I could not describe it as being electrocuted because that's
Adrenaline
exactly what it was. Because I've never been
It could
electrocuted
be.
when I was a
love
kid.
adrenaline.
but-
Adrenaline.
There's this game in the youth group. This was after you guys graduated. It was almost after I graduated. And there's this game where you had to test your reflexes. So anytime you saw the light, you had to hit the button, and the last person to hit the button would get electrocuted. So I was too good, so I had to make myself lose. So I was like, oh, what does it feel like? Oh, it's like, oh, that's what it. Oh, I'm not having a seizure. Like, what the fuck's It's like, and everyone was like, haha. I was like, no, you don't understand. I wasn't that way because of the electrocution. It's because it brought back bad memories of, oh shit, a seizure's starting.
I have a question. So in a grand mal seizure, do you shit and pee yourself?
No.
No.
But some people might, but I never did. Or at least as far as I know, I passed out. But I was completely conscious during the whole thing. Some people are unconscious, lucky bastards. Holy shit. I was conscious the entire time, from the point that it began to the seizure to as I passed out and I can't open my eyes. I can still talk to myself, and it feels like I'm trapped until eventually I wake up, and I'm so exhausted.
I don't know. When I got tased,
I did not shit or piss.
When I got tased, I peed a little bit.
Maybe I did, and I just got cleaned up before because I was only like 8.
I didn't shit myself, but I did pee a little bit.
Oh.
Yeah, it was like, you know, like when you really have to pee, and then like sometimes you almost can't. Like you're right there at the bathroom, and you're trying to get unzipped, and a little bit comes out right before.
Yeah, yeah.
You're just
oh
like,
my god, I hate that. And
just like,
or you're at the urinal and you shake it out for like 3 seconds, and then you go to and you.
I'm shaking it out.
I was trying to do this as much as possible instead of that.
I mean, like you could do this.
Yeah, you just kind of you shake it out, and then you go to put your pants on, and there's still that last drop. It's like, fuck
or that
you.
One little like. I don't know if this happens to you, like when you,
yeah, oh my
when
god,
you flex it and it goes,
I hate that.
It just shoots out. You're like,
that's why most of the time I try to avoid the urinal, especially if I like have a shift at work and I don't want to feel piss on my fucking leg. I'm like, I'll just sit down, fuck it, I don't care. I'll just sit down, I'll do it that way.
I'm just kidding.
Yeah, exactly. I was like,
You're honestly taking a piss sitting down than standing up. Pissing sitting down feels so much better.
So my brothers and I grew up in a household where my mom said that you have to sit down when you pee, because whenever we did it while we were standing up, we made a mess.
Oh, of course.
So she's like,
it's not
you are sitting down.
You know, it's not like a science where it's like, okay, I'm aiming in this direction.
You aim in that direction, then you get that one offshoot stream.
It's like, I didn't mean to hit the wall. Fuck.
What the hell? Well, and not only that, when you're sitting on the toilet, you can look at your phone and you can do normal things while you're just letting your business go. It's like.
Then also, like, sometimes, like, your underwear or, like, you know.
Like urinal's like fast food. You do it on the go. You don't want to do it, but you do it on the go. And then the guy's like, I only stand. It's, yeah, you stand in the fucking stall and get piss everywhere. I hate those guys. They go in the stall, they shut the door, and they're standing up and they pee, and then they leave. It's like, go fuck yourself. There's 3 urinals. They're all open. If you're so self-conscious about your dick size, sit down. It's like, just stop pissing at the one place where I gotta sit my ass down, clean up your goddamn mess because there's too much of a fucking horrible shot. Sorry.
Do you remember back at winter camp? And
are we talking about the puke incident?
No. We're talking about the shit.
Well, no, it was a puke bathroom. Clogged, then shit.
The turd itself, because I saw it. My dad had to. Do you remember? My dad had to take care of that. That shit was probably about that big around. I'm not joking you. It was about that big around, and it was like that long.
We're okay. Here, let's lay up the story a little bit more, because they're not going to understand what we mean. We understand what we mean. So,
as far as I know, I mean, it could have been Justin being like,
at winter camp, there were several younger guys who were eating a lot of candy, and they didn't feel very good. So one of them puked in the toilet. Normal, natural, typically flush right afterward. But instead, his response was, let me take the entire toilet paper roll and cover the puke inside the toilet. You couldn't flush the toilet, so now his puke is sitting in the toilet with the toilet paper over it as if he has never puked in a toilet before. And then, to make matters worse, now you have 30 guys about trying to use one restroom. The girls had like 2 restrooms for like 20 girls. It was not fair. We had one restroom, and some kid really had to go. and the other restroom was completely full. So he went silently, no one to this day knew who it was, silently to the toilet bowl and shit on top of the toilet paper. And that's the shit he's talking about. And the problem is there wasn't a lot of like leaders who were willing to go into the bathroom and clean that mess. So it was your dad, and I love this because I was in the room outside of the bathroom, just going, oh, it smells. It's just, it was the greatest thing. I'm like, I'm not going in there. I'm a kid. It's just, and eventually he's like, okay, you get over the smell, and eventually flushed it. It's like, oh my God, that was a time. That was a time. So anyone out there who's thinking about puking in a toilet, just fucking flush it. It's like when you take a shit, you don't take the whole entire toilet paper and try to hide the shit in the toilet. It's like, come on.
Yeah, no, it was awful.
I mean, eventually, if that guy, the one that got sick and hid the,
I don't know how
puke,
the kid wasn't screaming without like screaming bloody murder. I don't understand that because like
he's been practicing.
I had to have been.
Priest got to him.
Well, it could.
And it was so oddly shaped. It literally looked like
Priest got to him.
No. I'm talking about the shit itself. Looked
Yeah, I know.
so oddly shaped. It was literally flat on the top, flat on the bottom, and perfectly round.
It might have got
And
mushy
it
over
looked
time.
like a literal log.
Yeah.
Nice.
It was terrifying. I was like,
Whoever created this, you're a monster.
Maybe it transformed the more he did it.
I don't know.
I don't know.
But anyways,
So after that, after he shit in the toilet, because we still had one more night after that, so it was festering in the toilet for an entire day. The guys between 30 had only one shower now.
yeah.
Because if you went into the other bathroom, the smell was so awful that if you even took a shower, the second you leave that shower, you smell like shit. So you had 30 guys who couldn't shower. Eventually, thank God there's some communication at that time. They let the guys go into, like, because the girls' cabin was above the main cabin that we would do, like, chapel and stuff. And
Yeah,
that chapel had two bathrooms, a male and a female bathroom.
Way out cabins that were a mob.
Yeah, exactly.
And we didn't have a bathroom out there either.
But eventually they'd let us, so they'd let the girls go upstairs and they'd keep them there. And then they would let the guys come in and take the showers and use the restroom if they needed to. But, oh my God, that was such a... Okay, normally, especially during that trip, I didn't ever take showers. I was like, why? I'm going to be here for 2 days. It's like, I'm not going to smell that awful. And if I have deodorant and other things to make myself smell normal, it's like, sure, you're going to notice my hair is a little... Yeah, but it's like, who cares?
Yeah,
Who the fuck cares?
it's true.
Oh, we're at 4:02,
We
but
are.
I'll keep going. I don't care.
Yeah, that's why I said I was like, I would
Huh?
keep going.
What? Wait. Yeah, exactly.
I can bring up the comments.
Yeah, I can only read half the comments from here. Oh wow, you get to see my study material.
Oh, they won't see it.
Oh my God. So yeah, that was a trip.
Yeah,
It almost seemed like every winter retreat was just special in some way.
Well, and then I got that concussion. Do you remember?
Oh, that wasn't at
It was at winter camp. Do you remember when I went? It was like one of the little tiny snowboard things that they had, and I hit that stump with my head.
I
I
remember
went down
like
backwards, and I kept falling, and then I hit my head on the stump.
I remember on that hill, it might have been that
It was
year.
like this tiny little snowboard, like this big, but
Yeah.
it had like big feet, but it was like no.
Yeah. It was
Anyways.
for kids.
It was for kids, but I had big opening for feet.
That's normal because you got to wear the snow
But
boots.
anyways, it was, it was like I had the great idea to just go off the side where there's the actual track for the inner tubing,
Mhm.
and then there's the side powder that is insane.
Did you bring that snowboard?
No,
No.
that was a different snowboard.
Well, I even remember either that year or the next year after that. Either is what I meant to say. The first like few trips that they did on the inner tube, it was super slow. But as it kept going, it kept
Yeah.
speeding up and speeding up and speeding up and speeding up until eventually
Well,
the
you had to
kid just
walk up there, remember?
completely wiped out.
Remember,
No.
you had to carry it and walk up. This was
Yeah.
Yeah, carry your inner tube, and it was like the big ones, remember? And then it had the half pipe.
Yeah. That's what I was talking about. Eventually,
yeah.
kids got too much speed that they didn't go along the half pipe; they went over it.
It was so much fun though.
Because
It really was.
it just kept compacting the
And then
snow more and more and
Do you
more.
remember summer camp, the blob?
I never went on the blob. I'm not an avid swimmer, so I kind of avoided the lake.
I was on the front screen thing of summer camp
Oh yeah.
because
You got launched. by
I got
Austin.
launched.
Wait, who? Wait, was it
was
just
it
Austin? I thought there was one other
Wasn't there a
person.
bigger guy that we asked.
I think it
Was
was
it
like
Aaron?
2 people.
Didn't we have Aaron help with that?
We had
Aaron
we had
would work.
a bunch.
Yeah.
We had a bunch of people jump. There was
Yeah.
like 2 or 3 that jumped and launched me.
Yeah,
I don't know, but
they typically don't let that happen because
They
the
may
risk
have
of
done it for a
injury.
video or something.
Yeah.
yeah, but I mean, it was me and Eric and Kelly were like, it's Austin.
Yeah. He's fine.
That was
What's the worst thing that
was
can
basically
happen?
How
Depression.
that went though.
What?
That was basically how that went though. They're like, it's Austin.
Yeah.
I don't know, like,
Yeah.
They won't sue us. It's fine.
Yeah.
Austin is.
If he
literally-
dies, he
yeah.
died doing what he loves. So.
Have you ever seen the midget? And he gets launched. And
Yes.
And then he lands like
Oh.
on his stomach. Oh my god! I'm just like,
Yeah, I've seen that.
Yeah, I'm not an avid swimmer, so I never went down to the lake unless I was
And then-
watching something.
I gave your brother a concussion. Do you remember the? It was called the snow, the ice.
Oh yeah.
The thing that you climbed up, and there was a top, and then we played
iceberg.
King of the Hill.
Yeah.
Yeah, the iceberg.
Yeah.
We played King of the Hill. So anyone coming up, we'd shove off. Do you remember that?
Yeah, I do.
Well, anyways, I got shoved off at the top.
Oh,
There's
sorry.
yeah. It's like for some reason it wasn't. Oh, never mind.
Anyways, and like I got shoved off, and Austin was down below me, and I landed on top of his
I
head.
remember that.
Yeah.
I don't know if he had a concussion though.
Oh, I mean,
Might have not been
he was
feeling very
hurting.
good.
He was hurting for a few days.
I
after
remember my
that. Like, his
first
neck and his
my
head.
first day of senior high camp was the worst. It was like 90 degrees out the entire day, and we eventually go to sleep, and it was so hot in the middle of the night. I could not sleep because I only had a sleeping bag and like a thin sheet. So in the middle of the night, I was just so hot all the time. I was like, I can't. And I started to, because the mattresses were made out of this weird material. I can't remember what it was. Where your skin would just stick to it.
Yeah.
And then you'd
Well,
move
those
up and you
mattresses
get...
sucked.
I can't sleep when I'm sticky.
No.
Can't.
Justin just confirmed he can't sleep when he's sticky.
Okay.
You got
do
that
you
syrup
That's why
on.
I take a shower at
Do you
night.
remember the kid? And we, okay, it wasn't me, but we didn't do it. But we saw the aftermath, and they took his bedding and they threw it on top of, and all of his clothes and everything because they were so
They
tired
sang
of his
with
shit.
Brian or something.
It was something.
Yeah.
But anyways, they threw his mattress, they threw his clothes because he pissed himself. Do you remember he pit? And we were all in our late
Yeah.
teens. I think we were seniors at that time, or close to being
I
seniors.
might have been junior.
Anyways, no one liked this kid. Like he was, he always tried to cause something. He always was just doesn't give our actions right. But like I tried to be as nice to him, but once he
I don't
started
remember
causing
this.
things and got verbal with me, I was like, okay, no. But
I don't
no,
remember this.
we took his, or we didn't, but the group that it was in that cabin, we were all in that group. I don't think you were. I think you were in a different cabin.
You could have been junior high as well.
Yeah.
I think
I
I was
know you
probably
were
in
there.
a different cabin.
I know you were there, but he was in a different cabin.
I wasn't there at the time.
Because I wouldn't have partaken to that, even if I,
didn't,
really hated someone that
partake.
much.
I didn't partake in it because I came back as they were doing it. Like I was
Yeah,
coming to
that's
the
how it
cabin,
was. Yeah, that's how I
and
remember.
it was, and it rained, so it soaked his bed, it soaked everything, it soaked his clothes. I mean, it was everything. And then there was like and then we went streaking that one time. Do you remember that?
Streaking?
Streaking at the around the girls' cabins.
Was
I
it
don't
girls'
remember
cabins? I thought it was just around our cabin area.
No, we went around the girls' cabins at one point.
I don't remember that. But I do remember, I think it was your last year. The guys were starting to go from cabin to cabin. I remember that shit. And everyone who was sleeping was like, get out of here, kind of thing. And we just go to a cabin. There was a kid that had some kind of music box. I can't remember who it was.
Oh yeah, we started like a rave, dude.
Just start playing music. So we'd go to one
hundreds,
cabin and
hundreds,
just
like-
fucking rave it up in that cabin.
Got mad. I
Got so mad, and I didn't give a shit. So we all just ran out of that cabin and went to the next one. And it's like, come on, it's senior high
Dude,
camp.
there-
That is the funnest shit
Yeah, it
that you
was-
could be a part of, that you'll remember for the rest of your life, and you're gonna be the get out of my cabin guy. It's like, come on, come on. I mean, if you're not feeling very good, find a different cabin. I'm just saying.
I love summer camp. I loved it so
yeah.
much. It was so
all the
much
best
fun.
memories, and that's probably why I'm depressed now, is I don't get to live it out anymore. you know?
Yeah.
It needs to be adult camp. Got, like, something.
Yeah, but then I'll just have too much of this.
And
And then instead of raves, it'll just be it's fucking orgies everywhere. It's like, I don't want to deal
orgies.
with no. You have guys sticking it in the wrong
What
hole.
happened in high school, anyways?
What?
Orgies.
No, as far as I remember, not in senior high
in
camp.
ours, but-
Not in senior high camp.
Well, not for church. But
Now there was a couple people
Okay,
that got
but
caught
if you-
trying to have sex
I
in
mean,
senior
if
high
you
camp. I
really
remember
think-
that.
Yeah.
I mean, if you really think about it, there was probably a lot of kids that had sex at senior high camp.
And the stupid ones got caught.
Yeah.
I
mean,
They picked the worst area. Like, they're like, oh, the woods. That seems like the best place to go. It's like the woods is barely covered once.
And hundreds of kids.
And they were
like,
so close to the field. Like, so in the summer camp, there is this large field area. And then you had, like, the main mess hall. I wish I could lay it out a little bit better. There's the main mess hall that was right next to it. And on the opposite side, there was a little bit of a foresty area. They decided to do the foresty area, but there's so many people in the field still. It's like, come on. You got to be a little bit smarter than that. It's like, go to the lake. Come on. No one can see that.
That's true.
There might be
the
people
lake-
there, but-
the lake was pretty
But
secluded.
if you're
though.
inside, they won't know.
What?
Maybe. If you're inside the lake, they wouldn't know either.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm
Honestly,
saying.
Find
Just
a
kind of.
bathroom.
Yeah, the bathrooms weren't even that good because they okay. You would have to pick a time
Yeah.
when the event
Yeah.
was happening. If it was either like the main event of one of the days, or if it was like everyone's out doing different things, then yeah, maybe. Because then you
Pretend-
maybe have two people in.
pretend to take a shit. You know, you go to the girls. Or like
Yeah, but the
she goes
girls
to
and the
girls,
guys'
he goes to
bathrooms
guys.
were nowhere near each other.
No,
there's only one bathroom.
inside
They probably did
the
that on
inside the
purpose.
Mess
the
hall?
game room. No.
Well, yeah, there's the game room inside the mess hall, that bathroom there. Yeah, but
Not the mess. Are you talking the place where we ate and played? Like, do you remember the balls? And you would okay.
I know where you're talking.
you remember
You
throwing
roll
the
'em,
balls on a
you'd roll 'em. I
table?
forgot what game that's called. And you roll 'em.
Carpet ball.
Carpet ball.
Oh, yeah.
It's a pretty good game.
It is.
Yeah.
It's a great game.
Until your fucking table leans over to one side. Fuck that.
Yeah.
Because it's like, well, I can't set it on the corner, this corner anymore, because the ball's just gonna go right for it. It's like, come on.
But no, I mean, good times, great times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Summer camp. Can't talk too much about it, because then everyone in the audience is like, what are you talking about?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like they weren't in our summer camp. They're probably in a different kind of summer camp, the one where it happens more, you know?
True. But anyways,
What? You done?
no. I mean, I'm cool with keep going.
Yeah, I'm fine. I thought you were saying anyways.
No.
Let's
Like, I feel like we should talk about something different because
losing your virginity.
Ooh. That is the topic.
I don't like to talk about it very much, but I was 12.
What?
I was not. I was
I know.
obviously not.
We were nerdy.
no, you were
kids.
9.
You were
Yeah. No, I was
Priest.
3. Yeah.
Priest.
I was the altar boy. He liked me the most, or at least I thought so. So, tried to think of a name, but I couldn't. So, continuing. We don't have to talk about loss of virginity yet.
Tomorrow night.
No, I was just like, I was trying to set it up as if I hadn't lost mine kind of thing.
Been married a whole year.
Almost 2 years now. Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. That was pandemic times too. That's crazy.
Hell yeah.
Almost out of that shit.
We weren't wearing a mask either.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I don't really. Not
Neither a
many people
condom.
were.
What?
Oh, that's a lie.
There were some people that were, but
For
there-
what?
For the wedding.
Wearing
masks.
Most people weren't because we made it open. So the people who
Yeah.
didn't really want to didn't, and the people who kind of cared, and I don't actually fault anyone for caring at that point. It was what 3-4 months in of most of everything, so I didn't blame anyone. No one understood what was going on, but we left it open. So I saw a few people, but that was it, from what I know. But I don't remember a lot from my wedding. That was a week after I had the bad high incident, so. Yeah, my birthday was August 11th. My wedding was August 22nd. 11 days later, I was still feeling, which helped me a little bit because.
You got pictures of the wedding.
Yeah, exactly. And that was the most of our wedding. It was all right, setting up for the ceremony, and then after the ceremony, pictures. It's just pictures after pictures, and then we go sit down to eat, and then we eat for a little bit. And, more pictures. It's like, I'm not a picture guy. I don't like my picture taken. I never did. So I was like, I think the one thing that I wish I could do differently, but I can't because it's afterward. Yeah, I get married a second time. I wish I would have gone around and said hello to more people. I think that's my main thing. I've seen that from multiple weddings. I'm like, yeah, I should have done that because at least it doesn't seem like I'm not addressing everybody.
Yeah.
So I did after your sister caught the bouquet, because
Oh yeah, that's right.
yeah. So his dad, before his inevitable death, always came up to me and not this Austin, but my older brother, because we were dating someone. I was dating my wife for 4.5 years before. Yeah, 4.5 years before we got married. If I'm thinking correctly, when we got together in 2015, so that would have been 5.5 years. So we had been dating for 5.5 years. So your dad, every time that I saw him, first fucking question that he'd ask me wasn't like, "How's your day?" or that kind of. So when's the wedding? Just immediately, it's like, I at first I was like, but eventually I just started playing off of it. I was like, it's tomorrow. I didn't invite you. Could just kind of that shit. So eventually, at our wedding, there's only like 3 potential like girls that aren't married that might get married, kind of thing. So there's only 3 people that catch the bouquet. It was your sister, my sister, and I think Ashley's sister. And she throws back the bouquet, and your sister catches it. So I don't miss a fucking heartbeat. It was like 10 seconds later, I go over to the table, and I was like, "Sorry, Sierra, to do this to you, but this is because Steve did this to me all the time. So when's the wedding?" And I just, I was like, made him giggle a little bit. That makes me happy. And that was the last time I saw him. Yeah. At least it was a happy moment. It wasn't like a.
When you're saying the good story, like that's the last time I saw him. Damn. I got deep quick.
It was like that comedian whenever he brought up his sister with MS. Did she have MS?
No.
She had some kind of muscular disorder.
No, it was not.
No, she didn't have Tourette's.
Down syndrome.
Or no, cerebral palsy. She had cerebral palsy, and he said it was the funniest illness, and not to like, and he just hid the fact for the longest time he could that she had already passed a long time ago. Yeah. So it felt like it was common day, and then he eventually hits the news about her passing, and the crowd just goes so dead. And that's what I feel like it just did. Just hide that fact. Although everyone knows now, but
yeah, well,
what?
I mean,
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So penis enlargement pills. So
I've never partook.
Have you ever thought about it?
I've thought about like what it would feel like to take a Viagra, but never that. Like how long would it take to actually get the erection, and what it would feel like, kind of thing. But otherwise, no.
You know, it'd suck if you didn't get one.
What, an erection after? Wow, I'm better than the pill. I would just immediately think it's either an old pill or it's not the right pill, and I should really be scared because there's other blue pills out there that are really bad for you if you.
I'm throwing boobs.
A gas station Viagra. It hits 10 years later. You just. But no, never penis enlargement pills.
Those-
I didn't want to stoop to that
I
level.
don't think those work.
No, they don't.
Yeah.
I can tell you biologically, there's no way
I
that they
didn't
work.
mean like actually like growing bigger than normal. I was more talking about
Viagra?
Viagra.
Yeah. But, you know, on like it's a stereotypical, you're on a porn site and the top fucking chyron is penis enlargement pills, how to get bigger in 3 easy steps. Tips that your doctor will never address or something. Like,
Yeah.
All for $3,000.
yeah, $30 a fucking bottle. And don't worry, it's after the 6th bottle that you actually start to grow. It's like, yeah, okay. And then you come back to them, you're like, it didn't work. They're like, well, you must not have done it right. It's like, The only way that you can enlarge a penis is to either hit puberty,
We've already talked about this.
or there's a surgery in which you can perform to pull out part of the penis that is inside the man's body and give him an extra 2 inches. It's not recommended because the penis has to have some kind of root, because if it doesn't, then it's just skin and some tendons holding it. So if you try to, do the nasty, your risk of, I wouldn't say snapping or breaking, but your risk of it going the wrong way is higher because you've pulled out a lot of the root, muscle, tendon, and tissue of the penis inside the body, and you've pulled
Let's
it
do
forward.
it.
Yeah, let's do it together. It's an operation that, no. I mean, you could double your penis length with it. The 2 inches. You pull 2 more inches out. I mean, at least then you're like average.
Do this I don't know, whenever.
Why does
traumatic.
things with the penis affect you more than things with the balls? The balls affect me more
Because
because the balls hurt more.
Here's the thing, like I had a lot of trauma down in that area. Balls, I remember what the pain was. I do. I remember that pain while I was in the hospital when I haven't had surgery yet. I don't remember the initial pain because I was out of my fucking mind. But afterwards, my penis was bruised, swollen. I mean, it was hurt. And I got an erection when it was bruised and the testicle was still healed.
Do you know that? Do you know the cheat code to remove an erection? Flex all of your muscles at the same time and wait 10 seconds.
Yeah, because you're taking
The blood. Yeah.
out.
That's the cheat
But-
code
Okay.
Yeah.
Fair
for
enough.
next time.
Okay.
Yeah, so
Well,
no.
next time I lose
It
a
might not work
testicle,
with
I'll use it.
Viagra though, because that you're messing with
Yeah.
hormones in that situation, so
But-
it might not work.
One thing is
Probably piss him.
I got that erection, and it was while I was in the hospital because there was a cute nurse. Anyways,
We all know it was a
No,
dude.
she was
No.
she was
He-
gorgeous.
He was gorgeous. Don't lie.
No, okay.
He bent over and you saw that ass, and you're like,
You're right.
oh damn,
But no,
it was me.
It was so painful. It was so
The most painful erection you've had in your life.
painful.
Anyone walk in and they see it, they're like, what the fuck is going
So painful.
You're just like, oh. And they're like, what's
Were you
hurting?
grunting?
I wanted to cry.
penis.
And I remember when I got back home from the hospital.
And then the
I had
nurse walks
exact
in and
same
you're like,
thing.
And you're like, no, go away.
Well,
Make it
okay,
worse.
but
Yeah.
also I got an erection afterwards when I got home from the hospital, just a random one. And I mean, it was more bruised and more tender after at that point because everything's kind of settled down a little bit, but not at the same time. And I was just like, and there's nothing I could do to get rid of it, and it would not go away. So it was like 30 plus minutes of just
You can't exactly tell them either.
no.
I have an
I mean,
erection right now. Help.
no, well, at the hospital, yeah, but at home, I mean,
Hey,
who am I
mom,
gonna
walk
tell?
in
Hey,
here. Oh, there it goes. Oh. And then your
Joke's
dad
on
walks
you.
in. No.
Oh boy.
Sorry, Deanna.
Oh man. No, but It was horrible. It was awful. Awful pain.
So never will you ever try Viagra? I mean, eventually when you get old enough, you're gonna have to use it. But
Yeah, but if I'm single and alone, I mean, it
Well, let's hope that's not the case.
probably will be.
single and alone by then.
Old?
I mean, eventually maybe you'll have that crazy fan
I-
that's like, I love you so much, I want to meet you. And you meet her and you're like, oh, this might actually work.
Doubtful.
Don't do it. Don't.
Doubtful.
I'm telling future you, don't even fucking
no,
try.
I won't.
Because if someone's so
It
crazy
won't work.
about you, they want to
yeah.
meet you. The second you meet them, you have already not met their expectations. Like, they
That
do
is-
not like
that
you
is true.
anymore.
That,
Like you for other
but like, if
Yeah.
someone were
not
to
the right things.
come in, you know, like if I was just like walking outside and they're like, "Hey, you look familiar,"
You're drop dead gorgeous.
and then you're like, "Oh shit, you're like that YouTuber," and then like I had like a civil conversation and they were actually really nice and they were, you know, if that were to happen, then cool or
And
whatever.
then you go on the next
but-
one and you're like, hey, I met you.
It'll be weird because they'll know everything about you, but you'll know nothing about them.
Yeah,
It'd be
that
weird.
would be really
So it reminds me of this one time, and they actually tell you the
Yeah.
one time better than you can say it. You're like,
Oh shit.
wow.
I don't
okay.
know if I can tell you anything.
Yeah.
You know everything.
do you have a podcast? You never talk to each other. You just see what each other says, and you know each other so well. Oh, that would be awful. That's an awful relationship right there.
Yeah.
Oh,
It'd almost be creepy. It's like, how do you know?
I live your life.
Yeah, but I don't know. I don't see myself really ever getting married.
I don't know if I ever did either. 'Cause I'm like,
Okay, but
okay.
you were young.
yeah, but it was like my
With a
fourth
girl.
attempt, and I was like, well, if this is the last time I
Okay,
try.
now try. You know, well, of course, Justin, I guess, is in the same scenario, but Justin could get a girl so.
Yeah, but he
so
doesn't know what it
easily.
feels like to be touched by a man.
Well,
But no, like I don't know. It's just like when you get older and you hit like 21. It's like, okay, yeah. I mean, I could still find someone. Hit 22. Oh yeah, I could still find someone.
And then everyone out there suddenly
23,
starts to become
24.
pregnant, kids,
Yeah, and it's
divorced,
just-
or
it's like
otherwise, so they have all
that
this
and
other
then-
baggage.
Or all the good ones are already taken, and it's like,
Yeah. I was asked this question the other day from my manager because we're closer than most like coworker manager relationships. And she asked me if Ashley had a child already, would you have dated her? And I said no. She's like, what? I was like, there's a reason. Unless the father is long gone, meaning dead, no. And this is my logic behind it. She has a kid with that guy. That means that you're always going to be conflicted about their relationship, regardless if it's from you or if it's from her. Always going to be conflict there.
what if she has full custody?
Even if she has full custody, because then you're talking about the father. The father's always going to be in her mind. You're never going to remove that. It's
Yeah.
like they have a kid together. That's a pretty strong bond to have with someone, and to walk in afterward, you have no
I
shot.
could do it.
I don't.
Could have been an accident.
It's walking into drama. It's
I-
really what it is.
I
Unless
could do it if it was the right scenario, or right circumstances, if that makes sense.
I told her, I was like, all
But
else.
I'm not trying to be
no.
someone else's dad.
And it was also because
At
I
the same
started
time.
dating Ashley when I was 15, so I'm
Yeah.
not going to be like, yeah, I'll date Ashley if she has a kid. Like, no, I don't have any like responsibility for myself yet. It's like, no, that's not going to happen.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, I'm cool with being alone, having friends. You know, I mean, it's lonely. Don't get me wrong, and it will be probably
Maybe
more
you'll
lonely.
eventually find that honey,
I mean, it's all possible.
whatever his name is out there.
It is more common for even ladies to be single around our age compared to back in the day. Like up to even.
Yeah, because they're all fucking crazy.
Oh, you want to know where you can find women? I obviously don't go because of this institution, but college. College, the ratio from female to male is 3-1. your chances of landing one is much higher when there's more women in the pool than men.
I'm not gonna go to college
Unless you like both.
just to meet someone.
That is one of the main purposes of college.
I'm not
It's
gonna
social
spend,
networking as well as establishing a relationship.
I'm not gonna spend thousands of dollars taking a class that I have no interest in
To find my wife.
to maybe find someone.
But that's the main point of college. It's not the test. It's not the grades. For most people,
Yeah, I
maybe
mean, it's a career.
It's to establish
A
some
lot
kind
of people go
degree.
there for a career.
Yeah, but you don't even get like a career right after.
No,
you
you
get a
don't,
degree
but-
and you get an accolade saying you did good and you passed all your classes, which, by the way, is so fucking easy to do. To just pass a class, I could have half paid attention, showed up on a test an hour late on a 2-hour long session, and passed the class. It is so fucking easy to pass a class in university, especially UW Tacoma.
I mean,
To ace it, not so much, but to
No.
just get a degree is so easy to do.
now granted, I've thought about
Costs a lot of
going
money.
for like art or something like that.
Yeah.
You know, like
I
actual painting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Actual.
Not books, but in person stuff.
Yeah, not
Yeah.
learning about art to actually do art
Yeah.
and to actually, learn how to do these paintings.
I would still do like different classes though, because if you're gonna go to the art class and everyone else in that class is studying art, and typically two artists have a hard time in a relationship.
I'm not. Well, you could find other people.
Yeah,
There
you'd have to
too,
do different
but-
classes. Like, okay, I'll try the math, and you're like,
They don't-
nope.
They don't have to be in
There are
your
gym
class.
classes just for fitness.
Okay, but you
I've done
don't
that
meet
before.
anybody.
Yeah,
Yeah, you do.
kinda. You can if you want.
Yeah.
I wasn't very
When
social, so
when
I don't-
I'm working out,
There's a lot of
I don't
When-
I
when
don't
you're-
talk to people, and people don't come up and just be like, "Hey, how are you today?" Yeah, exactly. What
There
No one wants to
are-
come up and talk to you when you're
Whenever
doing
I
that.
went to gym class, I went to 2 different ones. It was predominantly women.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
If you,
but
if you go to any college, it's going to be predominantly women.
which is a societal.
Any college.
I wonder if that's a societal thing.
Yeah, it's for the most part.
yeah,
it's a
because
societal thing.
men are more likely to
Learn hands-on.
hands-on and not.
I wouldn't even say it's necessarily that.
School.
Guys, I think guys are what is called more disagreeable. So they look through and see the bullshit of the system. And they're like, I'm not going to fucking go there. It's a waste of time, a waste of money. I'm not going to do that shit. Whereas for most girls,
Well, it's
they're
also-
encouraged to go. So it makes sense for them to go. I'm not
Well-
saying that's for everyone, but
Isn't it isn't it easier for women to learn off books other than aside from hands-on? Though?
the way that most of the classes are
Yes.
set up, it is easier for most women to do because you
Yeah.
have to sit still for hours on end, listening for a long time. Guys aren't very good at
my
that.
attention span is probably about 45 minutes,
So
if that. That's on a good day.
the classroom has always been in tune to teach girls better than it can teach guys, and I guess you could maybe have disagreements, but that's just my point of view.
Yeah.
From what I can tell, it's like guys, in order to keep guys motivated and attentive, you have to tire them out first from some kind of physical activity and maybe make it a game to learn in that physical activity. But if you just sit them down for hours on end and you don't give them any reason to like set themselves up, and especially among guys, I noticed whenever we were growing up, the smart kid was always the picked on one, even if it was like me and I was big or if I was popular in some way. Whatever I did that would make me smart was a negative. So anytime a guy tried, it was a negative. It's like, oh, look at you, Mr. Smarty Pants. Whereas if a girl did, it's like, wow, you're powerful, girl. Do it. You can do it. Whereas a guy's like, haha, fucking nerd. So yeah, you wonder why. Society sucks sometimes, but
Yeah.
I don't know.
But I don't know. So it doesn't really. I mean, of course, I want to find somebody, but it's not like in the back of my head, like you need to find someone. It's like
There's always church too. You gotta find yourself a church girl. You gotta find You gotta find a church girl that has problems. That's a double whammy, if you know what I mean.
oh boy.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I get you.
Yep.
But I don't know. Like I've tried dating apps, and I've
Oh, do not Don't do dating apps.
I mean, okay.
They're the worst thing for the soul, especially for guys.
Hold on.
It's don't.
You're right, but no, I'm just saying there was actually this one girl that I did go out with, and we went on a few dates, and she was awesome.
I think you told me about her.
She was an awesome human, and she was sweet, kind, caring. I mean,
over here like
sportsy,
probably not gonna work because I'm fucked up over here.
Beautiful. I mean, and this was a while back. This was, I think.
Was this before Ashley?
No, it was after Ashley. It was after.
Oh
Melissa.
yeah, any woman after her is gonna be like,
No, it was. No, it was. Yeah.
yeah,
It was.
you're an angel,
was
and she's just beating the fucking shit out of you.
It was like 2 or 3 months, I believe, after my accident.
Oh, okay.
About 2 to 3 months after my accident. No, she was awesome, but she was up front. She was honest with me. She was like, "Hey, like, I want to put this, off
Dick
hold."
in you.
She was like, "I'm okay." She's like, "I want to be up real with you. Like, I'm not fully over my ex." She was like, "There are some unresolved things there I need to get resolved, or at least talk with him about, because, like that."
Yeah.
And I, right there, like, she got my 100%.
Yeah.
Because she was upfront with me. She told me in person. She was awesome.
Yeah.
I mean, she was awesome.
And then
man.
she got hit by a bus.
No, but they got back.
God rest her
They
soul.
got back together. They got back together, and and even after that, like, we still talked, and I was like, "Hey, how are you doing?" Or vice versa, and she would still talk to me, and
That's good to know.
she was like, "This is nothing on you." She goes, "You're a great guy. Like, I wish things were different, and I was in a different position, and."
Oh, that's
whatnot,
nice
but
to know.
yeah, it was awesome. It was very refreshing. I was like,
Yeah.
there one maybe out of 500 is actually.
But that's also because you're doing dating apps.
Yeah, but I don't.
You're talking about the worst pools to draw from
Yeah.
as far as dating
That's
apps.
also the easiest place to
That's
find
why it's the worst way to go. Is because if something is easy to obtain, it is not the right way. Because the sample size might be large, it might be easy to obtain, but the sample itself, you have a sliver of someone who might be good for you.
Where else
Yeah.
do you look, though?
So you have to try
You
100
don't.
different
You're
people.
single and alone forever. That's basically
you
what
go
it is.
you go to places
You go
where
to church.
that's really what it is. Go to a place where your values
You
are
go
the
to
same.
college.
Because if you go to a church, you understand that your values are
Horrible.
pretty much this. Depending on the church, your values are pretty much the same. Like
Yeah.
your idea of having kids, your idea of just yourself, like all of that is the same if you go to
Isn't
a
there
church.
mingle?
Don't do that. That's again
called
that's
Christian mingle.
Yeah, it's called Christian mingle, and again, not great. Like if you're talking about repressed girls on an app, a dating app, you think Tinder's bad. I'm pretty sure it's probably worse with the
It's
good old
funny.
Christian mingle.
But I mean, I did go out with a few women, and they were
They were
now
all women.
some. Shut up.
I keep doing
Whenever,
that. You set me up too well.
like, now of course I went on some horrible dates. Don't get me wrong, awful.
They just wanted to get in your pants.
Horrible. A few. Yeah. And I was like,
It was a one and
no.
done kind of relationship for them.
Yeah. And I stated my fact that before then, I was like, this isn't what I'm here for. This isn't
Because of the
this.
Holy Father, I'm celibate.
But no. But I had those few where it was me that did not commit to it, even though that they were great girls. It was like, I don't want to lie to my family and be like, hey, this is, I don't know, like, to my family being like, yeah, we met on a dating app.
No, that's fine.
You know,
You
for
shouldn't
me,
let that be the reason.
For me, that
nothing happens.
was a really hard point to get out of my
I
head.
get it. There's a
because-
negative stigma.
Yeah, there is, especially
Like with my older sister.
whatever. But
I mean, technically last two. So.
but anyways, but I mean, it was.
Oh, become a nurse. Ah, never mind.
Yeah.
The only reason I said that
Because you
because
become
there's
gay.
a wide variety of women there, but a lot of them either have kids, a relationship broken up, or
They're
divorced, or
Old.
definitely do not hold your values.
No, but
Which
I
is
mean,
weird to me. You take care of people, but your values are so
fucked up.
yeah.
Yeah.
It's like weird.
Yeah, but you know, so I mean,
To each
some of
their own.
those were on me, and I could have had honestly a girlfriend and something actually real, because there was a few there that I picked out, and now here's the thing, like you can totally
Bachelor.
you can find the
I
good
give you
ones
the
within
throws.
dating apps. You can, it's possible, but it's unlikely. Don't get me wrong. So
I
you know.
would not
You could apply
recommend
for
it.
Bachelor. The show.
No, don't do
Yeah,
that.
It's fake. It's fake.
Obviously.
Yeah.
But even if there was a real one, like something real, no.
They're not lasting that long.
For
That's like being a Mormon almost for like a month.
for
What?
Having a bunch of girlfriends.
No,
No.
no, that's not what that is.
Okay.
It's being a bachelor. It's
It's-
sleeping around with every woman you want to until eventually you settle down with the one that wants you. It's like
see, I wouldn't.
Bachelor
see, that,
life's not
that
a great
would
life.
be
It's a very shallow life.
that would I don't know. I could never. Entertaining to watch, yes. I will.
It seems to be that the most satisfying, at least in the short-term things, are. I just lost my train of thought. Probably because it's
Getting late.
it's almost
4:40.
5 a.m.
It's gonna be like a 3-hour stream.
3-hour stream, yeah.
Yeah.
We gotta finish it now.
Finish it with what? We've talked about so much shit. Depression, dating apps, dating,
I mean,
dead
we haven't-
dad, fucking puke and shit in a toilet,
Dead dog.
dead dogs. Yeah.
Okay, but I mean, they were small topics. Like short.
Just like your penis.
exactly.
What? No, wait. What are you doing?
I
I thought you were going to too. Wait. Hang up. Yeah.
But, I don't know.
I don't know. I guess
Getting
leave off with the. I don't know.
We
Piece
also
of
have to-
advice.
We have to also end on a good time. They can't end at 4:41.
Recap of all the advice. If you're going to start a business, research and make sure that you just fucking do it. Research, but fucking do
I
it.
didn't give the best description with doing, that, but it's just like finding out who's around, who's your competitors,
Yeah.
where you can get in the easiest, like depending on what you're doing with it. I mean, a lot of people aren't doing construction. When I'm gonna talk about business, everyone's gonna be like,
Wow, he's starting
coffee
his
shop.
own. Yeah, he's
or
starting a muffin
stuff
shop.
like
He likes
stuff
baking.
like that. No, I'm
contractor.
I'm contractor, a general contractor.
Yeah.
So not a lot of people are like, I want to go into general contracting and own my own business. For one, it's hard. Hundreds of companies.
Competing.
It's
Yeah.
it's a fuck fest when it comes to it, because I mean you have almost every guy. Not every guy, but it seems a lot of people are in the industry, and you're competing against like a whole entire city basically of
Yeah.
constructors, contractors. I mean, it's wild. So, but there's plenty of it too, because so many of them are shit, and if you're a good one, you get spread around like the plague, like word of mouth. I mean, we've already had like a bunch of word of mouth jobs from people, which is really cool. And that's we're not going to advertise, because for one, we're small, two, and we like more word of mouth. Honestly, it's a lot.
It's like that mouth action.
Yeah, exactly. No, it's just cool though. I mean, then you also have to know what you're doing too if you're going to start a business. You can't go into it being like, at least I had an idea, because I did framing and I also did tree service. I did manual labor. I had the idea of most things when I went into it. Now, of course, some things I was like, how do I do this? Of course,
Yeah.
but my buddy knew how to do it. And so he, slowly been teaching me these other things.
Well, your dad knew how to as well, right?
He knew how to, because I mean, he was what is it, not a carpenter. He
House
put up
cleaner.
he did that, yeah. But he put up cabinets. I mean, he had a bunch of jobs growing up, but he used to build cabinets and put them up. So he did like that kind of stuff. I forgot the actual term for that, but so he knew how to do that, but he never taught me anything like that. I mean, he taught me like common sense kind of shit, but you know, he didn't ever like. I mean, he taught me how to semi build a fence. So
Kind of all did that.
yeah, we did, but I mean, I learned different things, but it's not really correlating into necessarily what I'm doing. So you know,
I guess
a lot of it's just learning as it goes.
to kind of send off, just generally speaking, I guess a good recap would just be like, know yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Know yourself. Know your
yourself,
limits.
Know your limits, yeah.
But don't shit on yourself so much.
Don't be afraid to ask for help either.
Yeah.
Like, really don't, because I mean, at the end of the day,
The best hand job you're gonna get is the reach around,
the long as you
But I
got
mean
someone
that,
covering
yeah.
your back, you know.
I mean that in the advice sense. But no, just know yourself and actually love who you are, because if you don't, you're gonna shit all over yourself.
Yeah, I mean,
So if that's the last thing I have to say at
I struggle with it.
5 in the fucking
Brandon
morning,
struggles with it.
Yeah.
I mean, everyone struggles with loving yourself. I
Yeah.
feel like it's hard, but you know, you can only do so much, but also just love, because there's great things about you. There's great qualities about you. You just don't see them because
tits.
no, just because you just
Distractions.
yeah, exactly. The world gets in the way. You take a moment, think about it, and
Sit
just
down, reflect.
really suss out those,
Yeah,
I guess, demons in a way. So
because we all love you.
I could have gave a better description, but
Except for you, Sharon. Go fuck yourself.
Karen,
Yeah.
fuck you, Karen.
Yeah, fuck
Sharon.
you.
Did you say Sharon?
Yeah, I said Sharon. I just said a word out there.
Yeah, no.
You could have ended the stream. That would have been hilarious.
I was
Yeah, fuck you, Sharon.
Karen's coming for you.
Yeah.
Literally coming for you.
Oh, that'd be your worst. That'd be you at your worst. You're better than that.
You're right.
Love yourself.
You're right. I could
Yourself.
go. I could go.
Know
for,
yourself. Don't stoop down to such a low level. Anyway,
Love yourself.
That's got to end our podcast at 5 in the morning.
Yeah.
So love you. We'll see